identification. Navalny nearly died in a poisoning with a nerve agent in 2020 that he blames on the Kremlin. Keith Peters reporting.
Democrat Senator Dianne Feinstein of California is asking to be temporarily replaced on the Judiciary Committee while she recovers from a case of shingles. More on these stories. Townhall.com.
King Jewelers is not your typical jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. Custom-made jewelry to suit the most discriminating taste. Or you can redesign an old piece that's just sitting in a jewelry box. Create something completely new and unique. Grover has over 40 years experience as a certified jeweler. Visit KingJewelerJackson.com. King Jewelers at 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson. Follow King Jewelers Jackson on social media for special savings.
News Talk 96.5 FM weather, presented by Dustin Ring. Dustin buys houses fast for cash. Call Dustin today, 731-200-1362. Tuesday brings more sunshine and high temps in the lower 80s. South winds 10 to 15, gusting to 25. Mostly clear tonight and windy, some gusts may reach 25. Dustin buys houses fast for cash. DustinBuys.com. For weather 24/7, visit NewsTalk965.com.
We found Jackson's perfect lunch spot, Bourbon and Barley's. You can enjoy a delicious sit-down lunch at drive-through prices. Bourbon and Barley's lunch menu is available weekdays 11 a.m. all the way to 4 p.m. Have a late lunch or an early dinner at lunch prices. Bourbon and Barley's amazing lunch menu options include delicious crab and lobster bruschetta, Cobb salads, one-topping pizzas, and their featured slider of the day. Offer just $10 across the street from Starbucks. Bourbon and Barley's, where Jackson loves to lunch.
Hi, my name's Dawn. I have been taking BioT at Advanced Medical. My moods are better. I sleep well. My husband has complimented me on the mood swings that are no longer affecting our marriage.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there's an exciting, natural solution available called BioT. BioT uses a natural way for men and women to correct these problems by safely and accurately balancing hormone levels without the use of synthetic injections or cream.
I got blood work done, and they identified what hormones were out of balance. They gave me the bioidentical hormone pellets through BioT, and now I have more energy, no more brain fog, I'm sleeping better, and I feel like my old self again. I would recommend Advanced Rehab and Medical and their BioT program to anyone suffering with symptoms like mine. It's been life-changing.
To book your appointment, call 731-462-8580. That's 731-462-8580.
If you're in business, you know just how important each call is. You don't have time for phone or internet downtime. Your business needs a reliable communications partner 24/7. You need Lifeline Voice and Data. Lifeline Voice and Data provides telephone service to emergency service facilities all over West Tennessee and beyond. For your business, we don't just provide a phone line. We provide a lifeline. Lifeline Voice and Data.
He's a showboat. He's a grandstander. You know that. I know that. Sold his company for a tremendous amount of money. And he went out and bought a big yacht. And he had a very interesting life.
Live from Jackson in the heart of West Tennessee, this is the Dan Reeves Show.
He is a sick puppy. Prison, in a sense. They'd say 2024, sir, 2024. And tears are pouring down their eyes.
It's 11 minutes past 3. Good Tuesday afternoon to you. My name's Dan Reeves, along with Larry Newman. Hello, Newman.
Hello,
They
Reeves.
say 2024, sir.
2024, sir. They get, hello, sir, be great. You cry just every once in a while over something other than you. Hello, Newman.
Hello, sir.
Johnny Chandler's in the house. Jeremy came by yesterday. We said, that won't do. We need the real deal, Holyfield. We need Johnny
Shamed him
Chandler.
into coming in.
We need Johnny Chandler. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, that's not what you said yesterday. You were making fun of me when I wasn't here yesterday. I heard that.
That was Larry. And I talked to him about it. That's
I
Larry.
was doing my Dan Reeves imitation.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it sounded like him.
Oh, man. It's, Johnny, it's great to see you.
You too.
What you been up to?
Oh man, a bunch of stuff. Trying to.
People say that they ain't been
Lot of
doing
stuff.
anything, haven't they? That's been our experience.
No, I'm just.
And how many sales you got lined up? A bunch of them. A bunch of them.
Yeah,
Too many to name.
Yep.
It's, you want them in alphabetical order?
Mm-hmm.
Phone!
Y'all.
Get off my phone!
He's in studio. We can't hang up on him. He's in the studio. Johnny Chandler's here. You been
good to
playing any
see ya.
music?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Played with Dr. Sax last week. I
Now,
guess
make
it was,
sure you
last
pronounce
weekend.
your words because he's thinking, who's Dr. Sex? What's her name? Ruth?
You don't know her?
Dr. Ruth?
Dr. Ruth. No, Ralph Thomas. Dr. Ralph.
Oh, he's a great
Oh, Dr.
Dr.
Sacks.
Dr. Sachs.
Yeah.
Okay. Larry know how to pronounce our words correctly. So we get accustomed to that. I thought he said sex.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we've got daydreams about night things.
Middle of the afternoon.
In the middle of the afternoon,
They played a gig at Miranda's.
while my hands make a living, my mind's on loving you. Hey, the Hemp
Yeah.
Fest, the 420 Hemp Fest is coming up. Guess what, Larry?
On 420?
422. Hippies are going to get confused here. Hippies, listen up now. 420 Hemp Festival. There'll be food trucks, vendors, support legalization. Support legalization, that's together.
Right.
And games and live music. Cornhole. So it's going to be awesome. That's coming up. Let's see. The festival opens at 10 a.m. Hunter Cross and the Lost Boys will play. Then Ben Jassy and the Mechanics at 1. At 2 o'clock, Will Burton Band. Oh, that's a great lineup. Legal Light Up with Runaway Rocket Ship. We'll hit the stage at 420. 420.
420. What do you mean 420?
420 in the afternoon. 4:20 p.m. Central.
On the 20th or
Daylight
22nd?
time. 22nd.
On the 22nd.
Yep. At the Downtown Tavern.
Okay.
Not
All right.
Uptown, but Downtown Tavern. So that should be a lot of fun. Now we've got our launch party set for Friday.
Mm-hmm.
This should be a huge weekend. 421. And we've got the 3-time Alabama Band of the Year going to be here. And they've got a saxophone.
Okay.
They've got a sax, SAX, and they are really good, Johnny. You'll like them.
Oh, good. Yeah, I heard there were somebody coming, but I haven't heard them yet.
Business after hours will be here. Our ribbon cutting starts at 5. It'll go to around 7 or so. And then the after party, I think, is scheduled for
Afterwards.
for Applebee's.
Oh.
We'll get out and just
It's
party down.
Applebee's.
Yeah, I mean, at our age, that's replaced Tremors.
There's no Applebee's here anymore.
Oh, could be a problem, Larry.
Could be.
I like Applebee's, actually.
Larry said they've been hard to get a hold of. He said, I assume we'll be able to just walk right in. Yeah, you ever go, you've been in a band, both of you guys are musicians. Larry, is there a after party that was head and shoulders better than all the after parties as a total that you attended?
They were all pretty good.
What do you remember of it?
So where did you sleep at, Larry? He said, wherever I passed out. Yeah.
It began
But
with
the
an
all-out
all-out
assault in
on
the press, we'll get to that. But what about you, Johnny? The piano players have after parties.
Well, I used to drink while I was playing. I mean, you can do that when you're a musician. So the parties all night long.
You normally don't admit it, though, do they?
No, I usually started right before I played. I'd usually have a happy hour before I played because you can't drink as
the
much
after party.
Well, it just
Yeah, I
kept
know. I
on
mean,
going.
musicians, yeah. We assume musicians are dragging it up, and so that's not a shocker. I mean, it meant the after party. That's, back to the hotel room. Well, Airways Motel, wherever y'all stay.
Yeah, I stayed down there a couple times.
Larry never stayed. He did some drive-thrus.
Oh yeah, drive by.
Let's check the window. Let's check the window so we can check the weather. Let's move over to Larry's got a Doppler in front of him. Larry, I know I'm showing 80 degrees here in Midtown, J-Town, 79 out at USJ. What do we look like the rest of the day and moving in towards the weekend? With the 420 is coming. Today's 418.
Right.
420.
Coming quickly.
Why did hippies choose 420? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Well, you
I didn't even know what it was yesterday.
Whatever. You were in a band.
Well, I knew what that was, but I didn't know what 420 and it means nothing to me.
I mean, now that you know.
Now I know. Well, I mean,
you gonna put up a tree? You gonna smoke one?
No.
It's hemp. That's very interesting.
I'm gonna make some rope.
Yeah.
Out of hemp.
Once you do that, Johnny and I see if we can get it fit around your neck. Let's see.
You won't have to push me. I'll jump.
Yeah. No. We were gonna a part of our launch party. Maybe drag you down high a little bit and say, yeah, Johnny can hang out to it. Yeah. What do Duke boys do? What they say?
Yeehaw? Did they say
yeehaw?
Did they?
Larry. So, and Larry, we'll get him to tell us. Larry, Friday while you're here, during the ribbon cutting and the celebration, Larry will give you the weather forecast. You don't have to get out of the car. You walk up. If you roll the window down, he'll tell you the weather forecast for $5.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Friday. Let's get a phone call mixed in here. What do you say, Larry? Well, you're looking crazy.
Let's do it.
All right.
Hey, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do with that $5. I think it goes to the Feed My Cats fund.
That's not going to do. People would do that for dogs, not for cats. You're live with us. We at the phone lines. You're on News Talk 96.5. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Dan.
How are you, sir?
Fantastic. You guys are speaking about 420. So I thought I'd call in with this story I have when I went to California, man. I had these, what they called, moon rocks. And I didn't want to take it back to the airport, right? Because federal law prohibits traveling. So I ate those. They dipped them in CO2 oil and keef and cook them at a certain degree. And I ate them, and I woke up next to a TSA agent, and he was also sleeping. And this woman was talking on the phone, and she wouldn't. The floors were diamonds, man. That was the best trip I ever had. And I just ate some cannabis, man.
Well, okay. Larry, did you have any comments?
They couldn't just make brownies?
When you're the only one.
They had that too. It delivered it to my hotel room, bro.
Oh, sweet.
Well, it's are you going down to the 420 celebration on 422?
No, but I am going to try to make it to your kickoff party, man.
Oh, that'd be great to have you down here, Josh. Yeah, that's Friday from 5 to 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Budweiser will be here.
A month.
Pardon?
A month of free advertisement, right? For businesses that register.
That's right, yes.
Cool, man.
Well,
I'm tired of plugging this website.
Well, now, website isn't necessarily a business.
Well, it's connected to my nonprofit.
And that nonprofit is connected to charity. And charity is the name of your girlfriend, right?
Community. Yeah.
West Tennessee Health
No, it's the whole world.
Do what?
Yeah, we include the whole world and the whole 2020 decade, man.
Well,
One a year.
It's quite a big
It's
budget.
a social change movement for real. Education of transformative learning and like unity consciousness. It'd be an interesting advertisement. For months.
This is a country where we speak English, not Spanish.
I don't think you were speaking Spanish. It'll be great to see you, Josh, that's for sure. Now, the food vendors that will be here, Marco's Pizza, The Wall out of Henderson, Besso's out of Henderson, Bourbon and Barley's, Smoothie King, 731 Cookie, Chicken Salad Chick, Rock and Roll Susie, Jason's Deli, and the Blacksmith Restaurant. To name a few. We broadcast at the Gene Langley Ford Studio in Jackson, Tennessee. GeneLangleyFord.com. We can shop online 24/7. Even set your service visits, and new concierge service we'll tell you about next.
Just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in.
What the hell's wrong with you? That's open hand slap, huh?
Hi, my name's Dawn. I have been taking BioT at Advanced Medical. My moods are better. I sleep well. My husband has complimented me on the mood swings that are no longer affecting our marriage.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there's an exciting, natural solution available called BioT. BioT uses a natural way for men and women to correct these problems by safely and accurately balancing hormone levels without the use of synthetic injections or cream.
I got blood work done, and they identified what hormones were out of balance. They gave me the bioidentical hormone pellets through BioT, and now I have more energy, no more brain fog, I'm sleeping better, and I feel like my old self again. I would recommend Advanced Rehab and Medical and their BioT program to anyone suffering with symptoms like mine. It's been life-changing.
To book your appointment, call 731-462-8580. That's 731-462-8580.
Hey y'all, this is Mary at Mulligan's. Come see us soon before the new wears off. Hard to believe, but we're coming upon an anniversary in our locally family-owned business at Union University Drive. We still have our daily lunch specials, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., which will remind you of Grandma's cooking. Or try our Irish dishes, fish and chips, Reuben's and shepherd's pie, or everyone's favorite, the Mully Burger. And how about brunch on Saturdays and Sundays? Yep, every weekend, serving Jackson for over 25 years. See you soon at Mulligan's.
Looking to add a little spice to your love life?
Nothing adds spice like gunpowder.
Jackson's only indoor shooting range. Date night at the range. Here's what you lovebirds get: a shooting lane for two targets, 100 rounds of ammo, eye and ear protection, and a $30 gift certificate to Texas Roadhouse. All for just $99.99.
Now that's firepower.
Perfect for a gift card from the range. The Range, 2310 North Highland Avenue in Jackson.
Go to therange.com.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Central Distributors, Jackson. Are you looking to move up in your career, change career paths, or maybe even thinking about finishing that degree you started? Jackson State Community College is here to help you greenlight your career. If you're 23 and older, you may qualify to go to college tuition-free through Tennessee Reconnect. Yes, you heard that right. Tuition-free at Jackson State. Whether you're earning your degree for the first time to advance your career or finishing a degree you already started, Jackson State Community College is here to greenlight your career. It's time to take the next step in earning your degree. Learn how at jscc.edu/reconnect.
Hey, this is Chuck Walker with Southeastern Termite and Pest Control. We recently celebrated our 20th year in business here in West Tennessee. That's 2 decades of growth for us. We've added to our work family, moved locations a few times, seen our coworkers have kids and grandkids. We've even seen our clients who were kids when we started at their parents' house now call us to take care of their homes. Lots of things change over 20 years, but here's what hasn't. We can still be reached 24 hours a day. We still provide quality, guaranteed termite and pest control service for all all of West Tennessee. We still are the go-to company for real estate closing letters. We still provide quality fungus treatments and affordable moisture barriers. We still take care of your bed bugs, brown recluse, and every other pest problem you could have. If you own a home, you need termite protection. And the biggest thing we've learned in 20 years, we need you. Give us a call 24 hours a day for a different kind of experience from a service company. Southeastern, 660-1052. That's Southeastern, 660-1052.
The JCM Cougars play here. 96.5 FM, News Talk West Tennessee. NewsTalkWTN.com.
Starts the other segment with Larry Newman. Get a look at the weather. Larry, weather brought to you by Dustin Ring. Dustin buys houses fast for cash. Dustin buys houses fast for cash. House, trailers, land. If you need to sell fast, call Dustin buys houses fast for cash at 731-200-1362. Dustin buys houses 731-200-1362, DustinBuys.com. 80 out north, here at Midtown 79. Larry, tickets through the evening and into the weekend, would you?
Okay, tonight the low will be 54 degrees, mostly clear. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. The barometric pressure in Bemis is 29.97. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the high will be 79 and sunny. Wednesday night, 58, partly cloudy. On Thursday, 79 and windy during the day. And Thursday night, we got an 80% chance of storms, and the low will be 61. On Friday, 70% chance of rain in the morning and 70% chance Friday night. But what I'm hoping,
midday.
Yep, what I'm hoping is that
it's all
a couple of hours or so that we've got it'll go before and after we're out there.
You're going on record to
I'm
guarantee
giving
that?
you my prediction. Yeah, I'm guaranteeing the weather. Yeah, you got it.
Oh, look, girl, don't get so upset. I was just asking. And the barometric pressure in Bemis was what?
29.96.
Well, do you think I care?
Yeah. They don't know what that means. What does it mean?
It
They
doesn't
don't
matter.
know.
They don't know they don't have sidewalks either, but you know.
Now, don't get political. I just trying to do the weather.
Hey, I looked at
Well, do you think I care?
Yeah, Bemis, we want to hear from you. Yes.
About the 420, according to Time Magazine, 420 can be traced to 1971 when a group of 5 students at San Rafael High School in Marion County, California began meeting at 4:20 p.m. to smoke marijuana. So basically no significance, just these kids started smoking at 4:20 p.m. 1971.
4:20
p.m.
1971.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you didn't have to tell me that Pothead was up at 4:20 a.m. smoking because he'd be way past out by then. But,
yeah.
but that's
No, it was
but that's
PM.
good though, just in case somebody needed some clarity. Our launch party, folks, from 5 to 7 p.m. Friday, not 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. So if you're here at 5 a.m. wanting to hear the 3-time Alabama Band of the Year, not going to happen.
Not at all.
Now, Greg and the unit being around 6. You can sit out there in the parking lot and listen to them, but they won't let you in here. They're paranoid anyway, right?
They are.
Which is, well, it's logical and inappropriate, really, for 420 to be paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just legalized marijuana in Colorado. Do you know that?
No. It's been legalized, hasn't it?
Well, they did.
But
Yes, you're
several
right. But
years
they
ago.
did it again. But they
Oh, really?
forgot.
They forgot.
Thank you, Johnny.
Hey, I've
You're all
never
night.
I've never done it at all. I've never even smoked a cigarette. Never put a
You
cigarette in
never-
my mouth. I've never smoked a cigarette. Now I have put a cigar in my mouth. Not a cigarette. Yeah, a cigar and a pipe.
But
And
you
a
never
hack on it for
smoked
free.
weed?
No, I never did any of it. No.
You
Just
and Bill
cigarette.
Clinton. You didn't inhale, did you? Mhm.
Yeah.
You have really made me upset.
Not
We
saying,
don't like
I'm not
it.
saying I wouldn't, but
You
I'm just
never
saying I
smoked
haven't.
weed and never had sex with that woman.
And Johnny, if they catch you, say it wasn't me. That was a Democrat pretending to be me. Let's take a phone call. You'll be next over this year live on News Talk 96.5. You're on the air. Go.
Hey, how you doing there? It's the Reeves man. Hey, it's Chuck on a car phone from Jackson, Tennessee. Heard you talking about that 420 festival.
Yes. What do you think?
Oh, man, I tell you, my neighbor just got arrested for growing weed. I guess the property line isn't where I thought it was. Man, I can't wait to see it at that big launch party you have. I heard the band Alabama's going to be there, huh?
Really close. The 3-time Alabama Band of the Year.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was going to be some angels among us.
Yeah, it's Alabama. Yeah, lost it. Yes, sir.
You know, I just moved here a little while ago. Is weed legal here? Can we get medical marijuana in Tennessee? I don't know.
No, but several of the surrounding states you can, and some people are saying that we ought to legalize medical, and some people say we ought to legalize recreational as well, in order to stop.
Where's the festival at?
The festival is going to be at the Downtown Tavern. Now, there is it's like hemp is legal, like it was explained to us this morning, but it's a very, very low, we got a guest coming on at 4 o'clock to explain this. It's a very low concentration of THC. And apparently, Larry, that's a THC, that's a chemical in Mary Jane that gets you high, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's right,
Is that
sir.
kind of like what's in the turkey, like tryptophan?
Yeah, same thing, only
It
different,
makes you
yes.
sleepy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'll leave you with this question, then I got to go before my boss finds me on the phone.
Sure.
What do you do if you're smoking weed in the Walmart parking lot and you see a spaceman? What do you do if you're smoking weed in the Walmart parking lot and you see a spaceman?
Well, I don't know. I'll take the bait. What do you do? I don't know.
You park in it, bro.
Okay, we talked about the after party. This is the before party. Yeah. I can hang out with that guy. He sounded a lot like Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, he did. Was he that guy that called early on a couple years ago that got threw you for a loop for a minute?
No,
It wasn't that same
but
guy?
that's what made my favorite caller of all time. That guy was hilarious.
This guy sounded like him.
Yeah, this guy's great too. I have no idea who that is, but he's fantastic. Some talented people out there. Makes me wonder why you're here.
It makes me wonder why you're here. Maybe we ought to let those two guys come in and do a show.
I wondered that too. The phone lines are open. It's sponsored by CWA Developments. They specialize in fire and water damage restoration, plumbing, gutter, roof, and window cleaning, wood repair, fence, and deck repairs. Open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. and on Sundays for emergencies at 731-503-9598. They just did some work for Gina Langley, Gina and John's house. They were having coffee, and Gina ended up with not only cream in her coffee, but some of the roof. Yep, and so she called CWA Developments, and they got out there lickety-split so they'd have it ready by Easter Sunday. Now that's
right.
That's the locally owned and operated touch, isn't it?
Oh. Charles was in here, last week?
Sure.
Friday?
It doesn't matter why. What are we going to say?
He's a really nice guy.
Oh, yes.
And I mean, just...
Is that the first time you met him?
Yeah.
What'd you say to him? He talked to me after the show, but he was mad at you about something.
No, he wasn't. He loved me. He said, "Man, I feel like I've known this guy my whole life."
And
he get a wart on his nose or something.
Sure did. Yeah, Pinocchio. Anything going on with you, Johnny? What's happening with you?
I'm just working on music.
Bothering you?
Yeah. I can't talk about it right now.
Oh no, we need you, don't we, Larry? That's our motto. It's to anger people.
You have to go back in the back and lay down, and I'll tell you about it.
Well, now that'd have you. I'd be the patient. You'd be the counselor.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. We need to get him.
I'm not going to go back there and lay down in your room.
Right. I'm gonna write this number down. Will you hand it to Melissa? It's 911. Just hand it to Melissa.
I recognize that number from somewhere.
They've disconnected. It's now a non-published number. Also, you can text the program. Look for the Budweiser King of Calls or King of Text. If you're the best caller or texter, you have a nice price back from Budweiser, Central Distributors, the king of beers. And, you keep hearing this idiot at night on national radio. I tell you, if you... I swear these people don't know anything. They're just judgmental. If they're either the most judgmental... You mix judgmental in with very little knowledge, ignorance, and now you got that show. And that's the dumbest guy I've ever heard on or off the air. Dumb idiots. Hates everybody except if you're just like him and think just like him. That reminds me of Nazi Germany, guy. You people, what's wrong with y'all? This is the melting pot. Well, it used to be, didn't it?
Used to be.
Speaking of melting in pots, 4:20
p.m.
Yay. p.m. Don't show up at 4:20 a.m. pothead. Hey, Siptonville, you all smoke the bud? Get on the blower. Larry and I want to talk with you. What are you doing on 4:20? I mean, don't tell me that you don't smoke the bud up in Ridgely. What else would you do? They get after bud. What, Johnny? You?
Nothing.
Johnny said, I need to call in.
Yeah.
The text line is, you can text program at 731-800-8398, 731-800-8398. Sponsored by Advanced Rehab and Medical, AdvancedRehabJackson.com, AdvancedRehabJackson.com. Call Dr. Shannon Bell today. Get your free consultation at 731-664-6998. And visit AdvancedRehabJackson.com for an explanation of your options to get you back up into an active lifestyle so you can start punting the football again. Larry?
Sounds like a plan.
And we got a new email address. If you've got a community event, maybe it's a PSA, church function, or a stew, email us those events. Melissa, do we have anything, community events at newstrong965.com? Melissa will get those to us, those community events, and we'll get them right over the air. Melissa's directing traffic out there.
Yeah,
she's kicking booty, and cousin businesses are booming.
That's right.
I think your name's next up. Community events at newstalk965.com. Just another way that we can get back to the community. We'd like to take a little bit, too.
Yeah.
Yep, 420. We got a guest coming on. It's sure to be fantastic at 420 to talk about weed. There's a movement in Tennessee, so we want to ask you this question as we approach 420. Is it time? There is some sort of a law. I'm going to pull it up here in Tennessee. It's moving around. They would legalize cannabis, weed, the lettuce, the devil's lettuce. Pardon me, Chiba, Mary Jane, Mary Joanna. You get the point, right?
Right.
Grass. They would legalize it for medical purposes in some ways in Tennessee. Surrounding states, and I'll pull that chart up again, with a number of states that have legalized the lettuce. Should Tennessee legalize the lettuce on a recreational basis? Just go across the board, that would include medical. You're not going to legalize it recreationally and not add on the tag of medical marijuana as well, I wouldn't think. Or should they just go medical? Or should weed, Chiba, Primo, Mary Jane, hippie lettuce, the devil's lettuce, should it remain illegal? And West Tennesseans cross the border to get their old, so elusive medical marijuana card in exchange for some cash. What do you think, boys?
Well, if they knew how much money they could tax money,
oh, they do.
The state of Tennessee could make on that's kind of a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah, but if you get a pint of, you get to one guy, and that one guy and a couple of more guys are making a ton of money by the sale of marijuana on the black market. And right now, see, if this was prohibition of alcohol days and they had the internet and the corporations own the national media outlets, likely still be prohibited because a lot of people made a lot of money on the black markets. That was the whole idea.
Right.
Anyway, so you know how the way they criminalized marijuana, first they gave him the name marijuana to sound Mexican. It sounded threatening to white men. Mexican. And then there were whisper campaigns, and I'm sure they went to the women's. No, these were white men they went after this time. It was white women to criminalize the sale of liquor and alcohol, but it was white men they went after. They needed their help to criminalize marijuana, so they named it marijuana. Again, to give it that Mexican name, kind of like chimichanga. That was made in the U.S., you know that? Chimichanga. Yeah. You didn't know that.
Tex-Mex.
And oh, yeah, you spent time in Houston. You do know. Yeah. Johnny spent a lot of time down in Texas.
Mm.
Well, so...
Did you say Chex-Mix?
Tex-Mex.
Chex-Mix. That's good, too. That was invented in...
marijuana?
Yeah. Well, because you usually get the munchies and Chex Max. Larry just give it away. It's his go-to. Mixed with some Funyuns. But in the way they criminalized marijuana was that whisper campaign, they would go to Larry and say, if your wife smokes the lettuce, she will likely have sex with black guys and Mexicans. Seriously, look that up. Fact check me on that. That's the way they got the momentum to criminalize it in America. I would tell you, we are living under a trauma bond, I'm telling you. With our government, they have abused us. It's Stockholm Syndrome. Nothing else makes any sense. And then the way they criminalized the drink, alcohol, liquor, was they used the white women, the women's auxiliary groups around America. Your husband's a drunkard. He's sleeping with these sluts. And they're drunkards too. We better criminalize the drink or the country's going to hell in a handbasket. Before you know it, we'll wake up and we'll be Venezuela. That's the way they did that. And it worked. Fear works.
Yeah.
Really does. It's abusive tactics as well, though. That's
Christian Women's Temperance Movement.
That's right.
What it was called.
Yep.
I hate the way it smells. Real strong, but I mean, I don't have a problem with somebody. I don't think it should. I think it could be illegal. I mean, legal. I think it should be legal.
You know, humans have proven over the course of time that we're going to find something to blur the vision.
Yeah.
To help us get through the day. So we can keep locking people up that just want a little boost while you pave the way for the legal drug dealers. Purdue! So I think we have a government that absolutely hates capitalism. Think about the people that are these small businesses trying to get into the legal marijuana game in Tennessee. They're slamming the door shut on them. We'll talk about that at 4. They got to jump through hoops that they can't get through. You got to have money bags. So this is crony capitalism at best. At worst, it's folks, get ready to shake hands with fascism if you don't wake up. If you don't break that trauma bond with political parties and represent America, come together.
But I do have a problem with them with marijuana and driving, just like drinking and driving.
Well,
I mean,
that'd be illegal.
I mean,
that'd be illegal, just like drinking and driving.
How can they check it to see
well,
how?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like
you ever seen somebody high?
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
Is there a way to check it right now to
yes,
see if
it
they're
is.
high now?
Yeah.
Are there numbers to check it?
Well, I don't
Like,
know the
you know,
legal. I
I
don't know the legal number for alcohol. I don't know
Yeah,
the
like 0.08 or something like that. Yeah.
So,
but I don't know
just
if it's
because you don't know
trackable,
don't mean
I'm saying, is it trackable? To
Yeah.
know how long they've had it? Or?
Yes. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, and they can do a blood test. They can do, I mean, there's several tests they can do to see if you're impaired.
Okay, yeah.
Whether it's marijuana.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, just even the
whether it's marijuana, whether it's alcohol,
or even
or pills.
Pills, yeah.
And then if they determine you're impaired, you're not driving, and you can submit to a drug test or go downtown, or both.
Yeah, but that's you can't go by just if they act like they're impaired, because a lot of people act like they're impaired when they're not.
Well, same thing with drinking.
Well,
so
I know,
what's your
no,
point?
but they have a blood test they can take on that. I don't know
Same
if
thing
it's the
with marijuana. Yeah.
If that's the case, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, but it's that old argument. Well, if we legalize pot, I don't want my heart surgeon doing open heart surgery while he's high.
Yeah,
Wait, no kidding. That's why he's not going to be able to. Just like they're not going to let him set a glass of wild turkey next to him when he's performing cardiovascular surgery on you. It's the same thing. I'd be more worried about those Oxycontin that he's chewing up.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's not going to be in scrubs and have 6 or 7 nurses around him saying, "Hey, hon, can you hit me with the wild turkey? Get him about out. I got to finish up this cardiovascular surgery. I got to close this guy's chest up, and I'm losing my buzz." That doesn't happen. So why would anyone think that they'll be in there with a bong while they're performing cardiovascular surgery? I need to close this guy's chest up. Can you help me? But first, let's roll up a fatty. I mean, that's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
Just like today is, hey, hon, hand me the stapler. I got to staple this guy's chest back together. But first, let's get a shot for everybody here. What do you want, guys? How about you want a grasshopper? How about a shot of tequila? That doesn't happen. Stop letting people. Let's do it. Stop letting the government, a.k.a. the narcissist, deflect, mirror. It's what these politicians, they mirror you. It's called populism. Same thing as narcissist. And again, the good news is you can live with a narcissist. The bad news is you lose yourself, which would be our country. Or you can kick the narcissist out on his butt and learn your lessons, right?
That's an alternative.
Help! Somebody help.
Help me.
Hear me! Hear me! Tiptonville. You smoke bud? Hear me! Call me and Larry and Johnny. National Library Week, presented by the American Library Association, April 23rd to the 29th. So it's happening next week. Jackson-Madison County Library, they've got a variety of programs and promotions all throughout the month of April. Library Director Dinah Harris is inviting you to attend. And National Library Week interactive displays include patrons that we're encouraging you to share your favorite book on the Lafayette side entrance of the main library, and then come to the library on the College Street side on that entrance of the main library. Got more information? You can visit the website jmclibrary.org, jmclibrary.org, or call 731-425-8600. There you go. Send your community events to community events at newstalk965.com. We'll get them on there, won't we, Larry?
Yes, we will, just like we did.
We love this town. We love West Tennessee, don't we?
Local, local, local.
And we're going to be out at Bourbon and Barley's, Johnny and Larry, a week from Thursday. It'll be Thursday, April the 27th. Bourbon and Barley's for the NFL Draft. It's the NFL Draft Watch Party. Man. Hey, we can tailgate. Man, I wish they had it on 420. We could combine those two. We'd have some when we're boys. Yeah, it's Johnny. Do you get into the NFL draft?
No, I barely watch the Super Bowl. I just barely. I mean,
hey, you really don't.
Yeah, I don't watch sports.
What about you, Blair?
That's okay. I like football. I like college. I watch all of it I can watch.
I don't. I just don't have time to watch. I don't want to get. I get addicted to things like that. Like shows and things like that. So I don't. Even solitaire on my computer, I deleted that off in 1995. I deleted it.
He's addicted to it.
I mean, I deleted it.
Yeah, he's addicted to what I'm saying. But yeah, I've tried to tell this man. I think you're addicted to playing solitaire.
Yeah.
He's like, mind your own business.
I play Free Cell.
Yeah, I do too.
You play what?
Free Cell.
Free Cell.
Still on
What's that?
Windows 95.
Because you have to be perfect, just about, to get all the cards off. I'll show you something.
You've got all the cards off?
I think almost every.
How many cards?
4. Well, there's 4 decks you're playing with.
And you got all 4 decks off?
Yeah.
It's a 208 card.
You can do that.
And you
now.
only have 4 squares.
You can do
to
that
put
without
stuff in. So you have to stack it.
You got 4 decks off, and you only had 4 squares to put stuff in.
Right. And you had to put black on white, and I mean red on black.
Is that a website?
No, it's all.
Did you say blinds? No, what? I'm getting confused.
Red on black.
Okay. They cleared it up. You're giving me too much information.
But I think almost every one of those games can be won on Free Cell where it can't on solitaire. I mean, most every game can be won on Free Cell.
Help!
Oh, I almost forgot. We're going to be at Bourbon and Barley's Thursday,
next week.
April 27th. We'll be live from 3 till 7, so from 3 o'clock right into the NFL Draft right here on News Talk 96.5 FM. We'll have a lot of great gifts and all kind of door prizes and food at Bourbon and Barley's, 1037 Union University Drive for the NFL Draft Watch Party. Next Thursday, week from Thursday.
Great place.
The Northside Indians play here. 96.5 FM. News Talk, West Tennessee. NewsTalkWTN.com.
Hi, my name's Dawn. I have been taking BioT at Advanced Medical. My moods are better. I sleep well. My husband has complimented me on the mood swings that are no longer affecting our marriage.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there's an exciting, natural solution available called BioT. BioT uses a natural way for men and women to correct these problems by safely and accurately balancing hormone levels without the use of synthetic injections or cream.
I got blood work done, and they identified what hormones were out of balance. They gave me the bioidentical hormone pellets through BioT, and now I have more energy, no more brain fog, I'm sleeping better, and I feel like my old self again. I would recommend Advanced Rehab and Medical and their BioT program to anyone suffering with symptoms like mine. It's been life-changing.
To book your appointment, call 731-462-8580. That's 731-462-8580.
It's always severe weather season in West Tennessee. When severe weather strikes, we're here for you. 96.5 FM, News Talk WTN.com.
Hey, Larry, hate to bother you. We're on the air. Yeah, we're on the air. You can go ahead and knock that off. It's Johnny don't want to hear that anyway. We're live at the Gene Langley Ford Studio in Jackson. They've added a concierge service to their service department. They built that dealership on service. You can stop in Gene Langley Ford in Humboldt. You can get service done by simply you can log on to GeneLangleyFord.com, and if you're within a 15-mile radius of that dealership in Humboldt, they'll come and pick your vehicle up, take it in, change the oil, do whatever service work, and then deliver it right back to you looking brand new. Wait a minute. It will look brand new, but they'll change the oil and take it back to you to your office or to your house. And sometimes it's Gene Langley doing that. And people are going, geez. It's like that old joke where in the Soviet Union, remember Mikhail Gorbachev?
Mm-hmm.
He was the last prime minister of Soviet Union. Yeah, he came to Jackson to speak at Union probably 10, 15 years ago. You guys remember that?
I do.
Yep. Donnie done, but that's when he was partying. He doesn't remember much. But when, of course, he didn't drive, he had a driver. Would you drive or would you have a driver if you were at a spot like that? If you were the prime minister of a major.
I would drive.
You would drive?
Yes. I love to drive.
What about you?
I would have a driver.
I'd have a driver too. I mean, sit back there, burn the heater, get after some lettuce. Wouldn't matter. Where you gonna get Then they go pull us over. We're not driving. Plus a couple of blondes back there.
Yeah.
Hot tub. I mean, if you're the man, if you run the show, it's like Joe and Hunter Biden.
I can't run the show if I'm. Run the show if I'm the passenger seat.
No.
No, I'm talking about
be in the back seat.
Not that show. The real show.
Real show is
in the back.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Well, you're not going to hire some drug addict to drive you.
No, I'm just.
That's
talking
Uber.
About, no, I like being in charge.
That was a joke, by the way.
Yeah, I want to drive.
That's you know what that is, Larry? That's a control issue.
No, I just enjoy driving. I enjoy driving.
Yeah.
Back roads especially.
So if you went to Russia,
I drive back roads.
In Russia,
not to Russia.
You wouldn't know where you were going. Yeah, that's the way you have a driver.
You need to stay on the main highway if you're going to drive that far.
I know how to go north, south, east, or west.
Well, Bully, if you give him a cookie.
I know which way I'm going.
There's a compass on your phone.
I don't have to have that.
Which way's north? Real quick.
Right this way.
That's south, Johnny.
Right up here, right over here, exactly right here.
Did you see where he pointed first time? He pointed south.
Well, I know it, but I know where north is.
But he knew the opposite.
That is northeast.
I know it, but I had to look outside to figure out which way north was. In the building, you can't really tell as much.
I can.
Oh, you can. I can twist you around.
No, what I do is whenever I go inside, even though this is our offices, naturally, I'm accustomed to casing the place.
Casing the place.
Yeah. Getting a mental layout in my head in case I want to come back and rob it.
Yeah.
So.
I haven't been in here in a while. I figured which way the road was.
Well, you about to find out.
No, I like driving just without a GPS. It's more fun that way.
That's you think that's kind of a macho, arrogant?
No, it's just fun.
Male thing.
No. Well, yeah, I'm definitely macho and arrogant. I mean, not arrogant, but I'm male.
No, I think
I'm a male.
I think you are.
Hey. I went to the bathroom, in the women's bathroom the other day, 3 times last week.
Yep.
And because the men's were taken. And if I'm prepared to say, hey, equal rights. I mean, if anybody, if you can, we got lost. I lost my microphone or lost my ears. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Let's get this call. Because I want to have this conversation. We limit the hold time on call. I was having people hold way too long. So you're on the air with us. You're on 96.5 News Talk 96.5. You're on the air. Go.
Top of the hour, Reeves.
Hello there, JP. How you doing, man?
Well, I'm doing great. Hey, listen, you were talking about the bathroom. Okay, I was at Walmart today and out south, and I had to use the restroom. So I went in the restroom. Well, I noticed this guy walked into the ladies' restroom. And I thought, well, and the next thing I know, then he comes into the men's restroom, and I kind of chuckled. He said, man, why didn't you say anything to me?
Oh, boy.
That's funny.
And I said, nowadays you never know.
I ain't thought about that. I have not thought about that. Larry, that ever happened to you?
No.
They just accept you?
I just let them go wherever they want.
Yeah.
Because they might be having a bad day and they identify as.
I identify as.
But I don't know anybody that does that, though. See, I'm starting to question all that. As they said, like 1/6 of 1% of Tennesseans identify as trans. I mean, that's nothing.
Right.
You know, but
I identify as a sexy billionaire, but that worked out for him.
you do carry yourself well, except the time you fell off wagon in front of the. No, he was in front of the. What do they call it, JP? In front of the mirror at the haberdashery.
The wall? Did he fall off the wall?
Oh yeah.
What is that platform you stand on in front of the mirror at a haberdashery as you're being fitted for a suit?
Yeah, well, that's where you're getting tailored. You know, custom made.
Is there a name for that? Is there a name for that box that you stand on?
Yeah, it's called a box.
I mean, seriously, that's all they call it.
Yeah.
Don't act like I'm out of line.
I think it was a runway.
For somebody to call it a haberdashery, that's a little haughty-taughty. I would think you would come up with a special name for that box other than if the haberdashery. Yeah, get up on that box out there. I thought y'all'd call it something, you know.
No, in the business, we call it the chopping block.
Okay, is that supposed to be funny? I don't know.
No, seriously, that's what we call it, the chopping block.
Oh, because I got you now. Because you're going to tailor the suit. You're going to chop some off, right? Yeah, yes.
We're chopping it up.
I got you. Okay, so all right, so the fellow you watch him walk in the women's bathroom. Normally, in years past, you'd have said, "Yo, man, just want to alert you, that's the women's restroom." But you didn't do that because you thought he may have already known that.
Well, right. I mean, there was a sign that said women's restroom.
And you didn't want to get caught up in a woke flurry, so to speak, right?
Well, I didn't want to end up on Twitter or Facebook in Walmart, you know, throwing hands right here before an election.
Yeah,
you know?
that would look because that fellow could have easily got caught up in a windmill. And suffered multiple concussions before he ever hit the ground. So then he came in and said, "Why didn't you tell me? What'd you say?" I didn't know that. I thought you may be a trainee. What did you say?
Well, I said, hey, you know, nowadays, I said, well, nowadays you never know. You know, I thought maybe he was identifying as a female. I didn't know.
Barbaric. Man, dude, if that happens again, you have got to say, "Man, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I thought you might be a tranny." And that's Walmart South.
Yeah.
Well, you would think it'd be more likely if that were to happen, it'd be out north, though.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I think he was a transplant from North Jackson.
Well, I tell you, JP. Are you sure it wasn't Travis Tritt? JP, I think I put you on hold and picked up. JP, stay put just a second. You're live with us here on News Talk 96.5. You're on the air. Go.
Hey, what's going on? This is Cowboy Clint. I'm that tranny up there in 3 Ways just north of Jackson.
Yeah?
I heard you talking about that Walmart bathroom. You ever hear about that bomb scare that happened at Home Depot? News reporters talked about it. The man went in there and said he was going to blow the place up. They called the cops.
No, I didn't hear, but did you hear about that?
I didn't hear about that.
We didn't hear about that.
Well, I used to be a man. Now I did the Caitlyn Jenner thing. Ever since, my kids don't even look at me anymore. It's almost as I've become a transparent.
That's what a pimp does.
Oh, me.
Well, do you think I care?
a transparent. JP, I don't know. I wasn't sure if he was joking or if it was the same thing as you in the bathroom at Walmart and Bemis. Same thing, only different. But he may be a transparent.
Well, I was afraid he was going to comment on my wide stance.
Believe me, that's a good thing.
Larry, we've ruined these people, man.
We have. Hang out with us.
He said, oh, man. JP said, I was not, officer, I was not playing footsie with that gentleman. I was not saying hello. I have a wide stance.
Oh,
he's gonna
JP. Oh man. Hold on just a second, JP. We got a full bank of calls. You're up next with us here on News Talk 96.5. You're on the air. Go. That's the best call we've had today. JP?
Yeah.
What? Can you hold on just a minute? We got to get to a quick time out.
What else I have to do?
I'm detecting, Larry, a little attitude. It's man, Larry and I were talking yesterday, man. We had so much fun on Friday's show. That was freaking hilarious.
It was a blast.
Well, stay right there, JP. And
stand by for news.
And we, Larry, get your own stuff, okay? I'm gonna come in here trying to mock you, saying, "Why would they call that a cat?" Some fish. I don't know. If you give your cat some fish, sound like something you
said. You need to work on me.
Yeah, I do need to work on you with a hammer and a shovel. It's 7 minutes past 12. We've got a guest coming on too here in just a bit to talk about legalizing marijuana. And JP, you may or may not want to comment on that. I know as city councilman, there's nothing you can do about it anyway. Or are you running for county commission or city council?
City council.
That's what I thought, city council. But I thought it was Bemis. I thought Bemis was considered county.
Oh no, it's the city, baby.
That's right. We annexed it to get some funds flowing to the city coffers. That's right. You guys got indoor plumbing there, so that's right. That's right. We'll get some sidewalks. Won't be this week, but we'll get to it. We'll be right back. Stay right there, folks.
This is WBFG 96.5 FM. 96.5 FM. Parker's Crossroads, Jackson.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A widely used abortion drug gets a temporary reprieve from a federal appeals court after a judge in Texas had blocked access to the pill.
The Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans ruled late Wednesday that women could still access the abortion drug mifepristone, but it could only be given up to 7 weeks of pregnancy, and it could no longer be dispensed by mail.
Correspondent Donna Warder says the case may now be headed for the U.S. Supreme Court. The latest on the leak of a trove of sensitive U.S. military documents, the Washington Post reports the suspected leaker worked at a military base that shared the...
Hey everybody, this is Chandler Lewis with Dean Langley Ford. Today I'm going to talk about the 23 Bronco Sport Badland.
Senator Lindsey Graham cheering fellow South Carolina Republican Senator Tim Scott's decision to explore a possible presidential run.
Senator Graham says of his
having
fellow
trouble
GOP
losing the
senator,
belly.
my friend and colleague Tim Scott has...
Hey everybody, this is Chandler Lewis with Dean Langley Ford. Today I'm going to talk about the 23 Bronco Sport
Senator
Badland.
Scott, the only black GOP senator, has sought to bridge the gap on race using his own story as proof of the merit of conservative solutions. In a video announcing his exploratory committee, Scott says, quote,
The heart of this beast is a 2.0 EcoBoost, producing 250 horsepower and 277 foot-pounds of torque. And it does power a 4x4 system, which means you can get over any terrain possible. To go over any obstacle you have a 17-inch gray aluminum wheel wrapped in a all-terrain Pirelli tire. Now to the back, you're looking at 65 cubic feet of space, which means you can fit 3 golden retrievers back here, groceries, or even if you're a college student moving boxes. But no matter what, you can celebrate by opening a bottle. Now moving on to the interior, you have an ebony roast with heated front seats. You do have a 8-inch display backed with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Now one of my favorite parts is the GOAT mode. So as I was talking about earlier, you have 7 different drive modes. The GOAT mode is what gets you that different drive. So if you guys like anything I spoke about, the horsepower, cargo space, or even the interior, come see me today at Dean Langley Ford.
Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week starter pack today. ReliefFactor.com. Be the next success story.
My name is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer and New York Times bestselling author. You can protect your hard-earned retirement assets with a tax-free loophole that allows you to convert your retirement into physical gold and silver. Advantage Gold is the nation's highest-rated gold company. They have the best process, pricing, and service. If you want to get your free gold and silver investment kit, please
Every pest control company has access to the same products. The southeastern difference is the way we go to market. We don't believe that you should have to take out a bank loan to protect your home. You have more value to us as a lifelong customer, not as a one-and-done sale from a slick salesman. We can still be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Termite and pest control, fungus and moisture barriers, attic installation, or just about anything else. Our services are guaranteed. 731-660-1052.
The foreign minister says his country will not budge from its demand that Russia withdraw its forces from Crimea.
Having trouble losing the belly fat,
Ukraine, that Moscow
having trouble
illegally
sleeping,
annexed more
lack of
recently.
daytime energy.
News
I
and
was
analysis.
suffering from all these
Town
things,
Hall.
and several months ago, I decided to do something about it. I called Dr.
Imprisoned
Shannon
Russian
Bald at
opposition
Advanced
leader
Rehab
Alexei
and Medical.
Navalny is
A simple
reportedly in
test
failing health
can change
because
your
of a
life.
new
It did for me.
suspected poisoning.
So
spokeswoman
call
says
Dr.
the
Shannon
46-year-old
Bald. Do what I
Navalny
did
fell ill last
and ask
Friday
if
when he was let out of the
BioTE
punishment
is right
cell
for
and
you.
put in a conventional
You'll be
cell.
glad you did.
He had lost about 18
Not too
pounds in
expensive,
15
nothing
days.
too fancy,
On Monday,
just an
Navalny
authentic
wrote on Twitter he
Italian
was put
family
back in a
recipe
punishment cell
served
for
up
another
piping hot,
15-day
just like a
term.
pizza pie should
Ambulance
be.
reportedly was
Locally
called
owned and
early
operated
Saturday because of
Carico's
acute
Pizza,
stomach
home of the
pains, but
$8
Navalny
lunch special.
received no
2 slices and a
diagnosis.
drink for just $8.
says it's
Buy the
believed
slice
Navalny
or
is
the
receiving low
28-inch
doses of
monster.
poison
Perfect
and
for the ball
pills
game.
without identification.
Carico's Pizza,
Navalny
1370
nearly
Union
died in a
University
poisoning
Drive.
with
For
a
catering,
nerve
call
agent in
731-240-1033. For the full menu, visit
Democrat
caricospizza.com.
Senator Dianne Feinstein of
nearly 30
California
years,
is asking
Cambridge
to be
Limited has been the
temporarily
place where
replaced on the
West
Judiciary
Tennesseans come for their
Committee.
best closed
She
meetings.
recovers from a case
We are so
of
thankful
shingle.
for the many customers
More
who
on
have
these
stood by
stories.
us through the years and allowed us to play
Townhall.com.
such a special role in the biggest moments of their lives. Our customer service is unparalleled, and our tailors work around the clock to ensure that your clothes are custom fit to you. With no suit in the store more than $2.59, there is something for everybody here at Cambridge. Come and see what we are all about. Or give us a call to book your own wedding appointment today at Cambridge.
The choice to enjoy is easy.
Your office or home office
Bud
in
Light,
need of a new
easy to
printer,
drink,
copier,
easy to
fax,
enjoy.
or multifunction
Pick up Bud
machine?
Light at your
You need
local
business
convenience store
cards,
today.
envelopes,
Enjoy responsibly.
office supplies?
Anheuser-Busch,
Are
Bud
you
Light
looking
Beer,
to
St. Louis,
upgrade
Missouri.
to
Central Distributors, Jackson.
Hi, my name's Dawn. I have been taking BioTE at Advanced Medical. My moods are better. I sleep well. My husband has complimented me on the mood swings that are no longer affecting our marriage.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there's an exciting, natural solution available called BioTE.
Jean Langley Ford in Humboldt. And right now, our price is your price. Our price is your price. Our price is your price. And remember, March is Ford Truck Month. What's better than 20% over invoice, or 15% over invoice, or 10% over invoice? How about 0% over invoice? It's happening now at Jean Langley Ford. Our price is your price. That's right. Our price is your price.
If you're in business, you know just how important each call is. You don't have time for phone or internet downtime. Your business needs a reliable communications partner 24/7. You need Lifeline Voice and Data. Lifeline Voice and Data provides telephone service to emergency service facilities all over West Tennessee and beyond. For your business, we don't just provide a phone line. We provide a lifeline. Lifeline Voice and Data.
$99.99.
Now that's fire.
Perfect for a gift card from The Range. The Range, 2310 North Highland Avenue in Jackson.
Go to therange.com.
News Talk 96.5 FM weather, presented by Dustin Ring. Dustin buys houses fast for cash. Call Dustin today, 731-200-1362. Tuesday brings more sunshine and high temps in the low 80s. South winds 10 to 15.
News Talk West Tennessee includes NewsTalk965.com and NewsTalk 96.5 FM, covering local news, sports, and weather on an extensive network of platforms, including radio, social media streaming, digital TV, live stream, podcasts, all on your devices. Our local and live weekday lineup includes Daybreak with Greg Wood and G-Unit, Walker Talks with Chuck Walker and Julie Holt, The Dan Reeves Show with Gina Langley and Larry Newman, Dave Ramsey, Jackson-Madison County Schools Game of the Week, UT Vols Sports, and the Memphis Grizzlies. Local, live, News Talk West Tennessee and NewsTalk965.com. Hear it first on News Talk 96.5 FM. We might be talking about you. The Memphis Grizzlies play here. 96.5 FM, News Talk, West Tennessee. NewsTalkWTN.com.
Well, it's the Grizzlies play tonight right here, Game 2. It's Grizzlies-Lakers Western Conference playoffs, NBA playoffs right here on News Talk 96.5 FM, pregame at 6:30. We'll run down that schedule for you in just a bit. We got the Grizzlies all the way through the playoffs, hopefully to the NBA title. Be nice. Let's move over to the Weather Center for a moment and get an update on the weather. Presented by Dustin Ring. Dustin buys houses fast for cash. DustinBuys.com. Dustin buys houses fast for cash. Houses, trailers, land. If you need to sell fast, call Dustin. And Dustin buys houses fast for cash. 731-200-1362. DustinBuys.com. Larry, how's it look over there, big guy?
Well, right now it's 79 degrees and sunny. Tonight, the low will be 54 and mostly clear. On Wednesday, 79 and sunny. Wednesday night, 58, partly cloudy. On Thursday, 79 degrees and windy. Thursday night, 61 degrees with an 80% chance of storms. On Friday, the high will be 67, 70% chance of storms. And Friday night, 47 with a 70% chance of storms. So hopefully that will give us our window so we can have our event. The barometric pressure, Pastor, in Bemis is 29.95. There are no warnings out. Might be a pollen warning. Over the weekend, it's going to be nice. 55 and 37 on Saturday, and on Sunday, 54, sunny, the low 36 and mostly clear Sunday night. So we got just get through Friday.
Well, it's
that
doesn't sound nice to me. 55 and 37. That'd be nice if it's February. I mean, that's for my taste. I'm more like 78 and 58. That'd be nice, you know.
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah, we will. But I'm just talking about. You said it'd be nice, but it's all in what you like, right? Some people like colder weather.
Yeah.
But I don't like riding the Harley and it's 55 degrees and you're at a 70-mile-per-hour wind. Think of that. That's
I wouldn't be riding the Harley.
Yeah, but I want to ride. Yeah, no, you can't ride.
Put an extra jacket on.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't like that because it's like, nobody would go outside when it's 55 degrees and a 75-mile-per-hour wind, right?
I wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody would. But if it's, if it's 78, well, it's different. Get out there, get a breeze. It's more like a breeze. When it's 55, it's more like an Arctic blast right up your skirt.
Don't wear a skirt.
Proverbial skirts.
Oh, okay. Well,
don't be so sensitive, dude.
Nowadays, when people say stuff like that, you don't know whether they're serious or not.
But I don't hear anybody talking about it. I don't hear the woke community I hear our group talking about it all the time. The so-called conservatives. I don't hear the woke people saying all this. Seriously, think about that. What's the last time you listened to WOKE? Let's go to the phone lines. This may be our guest, Yvonne. Yvonne, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Well, good afternoon. My name's Dan Reeves. Larry Newman is here as well, and we're pleased to have you on the program today. Tell us about you, and now, as I understand, you're an advocate for legalizing marijuana in the state of Tennessee, whether it be medical or recreational, or just tell us what you're advocating for.
Well, hello, hometown. Next best thing to being there, I guess.
No, where are you, Yvonne? Where are you?
I'm in Knoxville.
Okay.
I'm from Jackson.
All right. So you went to high school where?
I went to Southside.
Oh,
I'm a Hawk.
a South Side girl. I did, me and the G Unit do the broadcasting for South Side High School, and the girls went 34-0, won the state championship this year in basketball.
No. That did my heart good. I loved that.
Me too. But do you know Brent McNeil, the coach?
No.
Okay. All right, so Southside girl, what got you to Knoxville?
Graham? I did live in Johnson City, and I was a budget cut when they cut with the state, and moved to Knoxville to find work, and that's kind of where my really in-depth cannabis legalization efforts began, was here in Knoxville. I've always, ever since I was a teenager, been an advocate. I read a lot, and while I was at the School for the Blind, they suspected I had glaucoma, but they couldn't test me, so they couldn't give me drops or anything. And a friend asked if I wanted to burn one with him, and I'm like, okay, I'll try it. And I did, and my vision started clearing up.
At what age was that?
And I was 15.
Okay, so you didn't have sight at birth, right?
I did. I could see some.
Okay, and when were you? I guess you were classified as legally blind. What age would you have been?
I was premature, so it's been since birth.
Okay.
And so I had a crush on the guy, and so I'll smoke with you. And after like the third time, I noticed my PTSD symptoms were going away that I didn't even know I had until they started going away. And my vision started clearing up, and I told him about it. And he asked if I'd had glaucoma. I said, they think I do. He said, I bet money you do, because his whole family had it, and he was the only one that smoked, and he was the only one who had consistently good pressure readings and didn't have to take drops like the rest of his family did. And so I'm like, okay, here's my medicine. And I ended up going to Southside, 10th grade, and blew all the myths about people who use cannabis, make bad grades, and are dumb. Blew that out of the water. I literally had to work twice as hard and do twice as much to keep up with my sighted peers in school. And I made straight A's from the time I walked in those doors at Southside till I graduated high school. And that was with doing schoolwork and having to braille everything and then type everything. So kind of blew that one out of the water.
Well, Yvonne, how often did you smoke the lettuce, Mary Jane?
Well, when I could. Usually, on weekends, when on average, I would smoke 3 times or so a week when I was able to get it.
Okay, and obviously, what did your parents know?
No.
Yeah, because and I don't. What year did you? What time period are we talking about? What decade?
I graduated Southside in '83.
Okay, so so we're talking in the 70s and late 70s, early 80s.
Early 80s,
yeah.
Yes.
And so I can't. I don't remember. It did have a negative connotation to it, certainly then. So I don't recall. But I guess, was it worse then, you think, or is it worse today as far as the stigma of smoking the lettuce? I mean, other than you get called a hippie.
The stigma among peers, there's not a stigma now. People openly talk about it on Facebook. You can sit in a restaurant, you can hear people talking about it, and people will openly admit, even here in Tennessee, to cannabis use, because the stigma among our peers is pretty much gone.
And for high schoolers, I was meaning the adults. But but because as Reagan was in '83 was into his third year of his term. Just saying no. Remember the commercials? This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. I had thought, even though, Yvonne, that human beings have proven over the course of history that they're going to find something to blur the vision. If it says you may experience unrealistic feelings of well-being, we're going to try it to help us get through the day.
Yes.
There was some guy licked a frog for the first time, looking for something to get high.
Everybody did something for the first time. And the argument people have against, they said, well, people just want to smoke it to feel good. Okay, fine. What's the problem in feeling good? For every reason, somebody smokes a joint, smokes a bowl, smokes a blunt, eats an edible or oils, there is either a prescription medicine or an over-the-counter medicine that will fulfill the need of why people use cannabis. Because people use it for reasons. I've had a hard day at work. I don't drink, so I smoke after work. And the problem that people face with smoking is, well, it's obvious. You can smell it, sometimes from a mile away. And so it's pretty easy to get caught. Just like come home a teenager, your mama smells of your hair and she knows you've been smoking cigarettes,
Exactly.
And people know.
But it's Yvonne's joining us. She's an advocate for legalizing recreational or just medical in Tennessee.
I'm actually I'm more for decriminalization than I am for legalization. Because even if we legalize, we have dispensaries, we're still going to have a healthy green market outside of the dispensaries. And with legalization comes a lot of regulations and taxation and all those Asians come into play.
Yeah, Yvonne, let me jump in with you because it looks to me like in conversation I had this morning about this on a morning show, it was that corporations are making moves to position themselves to slam the door shut on small businessmen. Much like in New York City years ago, if you want to get in the cab business, Larry and I couldn't go out and just start a cab company. We had to buy a $1 million medallion. And these people hate capitalism. Don't let them fool you. They absolutely hate it.
And when has Big Corp ever been nice to small business? Never, ever, ever.
The next time will be the first time, as they say. Do you feel like you would have been able to, if you'd been able to get some lettuce when you were young enough, how much do you think that would have helped you as far as in what's been proven? I'm asking you, what has been proven to be the benefit for glaucoma patients by smoking marijuana?
Well, let me tell you about this. I'm not going to go into a lot of gory details, but when I was 24 or so, my first husband had gotten into the thought that, well, it's illegal, so you don't need to do it. And I had to make a choice between taking a chance and quitting smoking and my vision decreasing or losing my child. And I chose to quit smoking at that point to not have to deal with children's services and family and everything. And they happened to get a pressure reading on me about 8-9 months after I had quit. I was 25 or 6. And they finally got a pressure reading. And normal glaucoma pressure is 8-9. They consider it high when it gets to 19 or so. Mine was fluctuating sometimes within hours from mid-20s to 60s. And I had they tried drops that didn't work, and I had 15 different eye surgeries and ended up, when I was 29, losing all of my remainder of my sight and went totally blind. All because, I was forced into making a choice, and that's what has made me a strong advocate as I am. No one should ever have to choose between their health and their child. It's just...
Boy, Ron, I tell you, that's well put there. But they want to, strangers, want to help you get into heaven, essentially. That's what it's all about. Tearing down the Constitution, rebuilding the Constitution, and watching this play out in America on how propaganda works. It's we get what we put up with, but folks, this ain't going to be easy. We're going to have to take our party blinders off and stop identifying with one particular party or the other and say we're Americans. I've not heard anyone say that in a long time. Yvonne's on here and talking about approving. Well, I just got this in from somebody that was in the medical business. On the text line said marijuana reduces intracolar pressure. Am I pronouncing it anywhere near right? And then high intracolar
inocular, maybe.
Jeez.
I don't know.
I've got glasses. Look, I've got glasses around my neck that work perfectly. Now, that doesn't account for everything. Phonetically spell those medical words, will you, until I get my glasses on and put it on. So marijuana reduces intraocular pressure, right? And
yes.
And intraocular pressure ruins the optic nerve. I am wearing my glasses now. They do need
cannabis
cleaning, though.
is a natural anti-inflammatory. And what a lot of people don't know, and this doctor in Israel, I cannot even pronounce his name right now, but he's considered the father of the endocannabinoid system. We all have the cannabinoid system built into our body, just like we have our cardiovascular system, our muscular system. We have a cannabinoid system, and our cannabinoid system is as individual to us as our fingerprint. No two human cannabinoid systems is alike, and that's why when you have a group of people who can smoke from the same joint and each person may get a little different effect, that's because the cannabis is working on each individual person on an individual basis, which tells me that this plant was put here and designed specifically for uses like we have.
Well,
it's a natural anti-inflammatory.
But Yvonne, here's the thing, though. That the group that claims that don't worry about the climate, God's in control, are the same. That's the same group that's saying don't take God's plants and use them to benefit the human body. We know better in a lab with a mad scientist at Purdue. That's the painkiller you need. If people could stop in rooting for their favorite team, their favorite political party, and think about what they're hearing from these people and how they contradict their last statement with their new statements, and in the previous statements, and in future statements, they continue to contradict every other sentence. And but as long as it's a member of our own team, we seem to be okay with it. Yvonne, can you hold just a minute? Let us get a break. We'll come right back to you. And thank you for spending some time with us today. We'll be right back with Yvonne. She's in Knoxville, Tennessee, as we broadcast on the Gene Langley Ford Studio in Jackson. Gene Langley Ford, 3500 Easton Drive in Humboldt, now offering concierge service for their service department, meaning they'll come and pick your vehicle up, take it in, maybe it's an oil change, then deliver it right back to your house or to your office. If you're within a 15-mile radius, complimentary. And many times it's Gene Langley pulling up in your office, parking, car park. That's what they call it everywhere else. We call it a parking lot. Let's see. What's that old saying? Never mind. We'll get back to it. But Gene Langley Ford, GeneLangleyFord.com, where you can buy online, shop online, secure financing, and set those service visits at GeneLangleyFord.com. 3500 Easton Drive and now straddling Easton Drive. One side of the street, new car division. Other side, the pre-owned division of Gene Langley Ford in Humboldt. The dealership and service truly built. 437 on 418, headed towards 420. Yay, yay.
The Southside Hawks play here. 96.5 FM, News Talk West Tennessee. News Talk WTN.com.
Watch Tennessee Championship Wrestling every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on NewsTalkWestTennessee.com.
See all the Memphis legends: Jerry the King Lawler, Dangerous Doug Gilbert, Superstar Bill Dundee, along with stars of today: the Mid-South Prodigy Bam Bam Bundy, MJ Davis, Mr. Marvelous Mike Mayo, Insane Dane, Big Gravy, The Rocket Josh Benson, Lucky P. Larson, and many, many more. You can also view TCW on the News Talk West Tennessee app for all your Apple and Android devices. Catch Tennessee Championship Wrestling
in Humboldt. And right now, our price is your price. Our price is your price. Our price is your price. And remember, March is Ford Truck Month. What's better than 20% over invoice, or 15% over invoice, or 10% over invoice? How about 0% over invoice? It's happening now at Gene Langley Ford. Our price is your price. That's right. Our price is your price.
If you're in business, you know just how important each call is. You don't have time for phone or internet downtime. Your business needs a reliable communications partner 24/7. You need Lifeline Voice and Data. Lifeline Voice and Data provides telephone service to emergency service facilities all over West Tennessee and beyond. For your business, we don't just provide a phone line. We provide a lifeline. Lifeline Voice and Data.
Special savings. Are you tired of the stresses of everyday life? Do you need a break? Indulge yourself at Bogey's Dream Studio. Experience the very best massage therapy. Shane specializes in hot oil stone massage, which will melt away your tension and leave you feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. Self-care is important. Regular massage will strengthen your immune system, decrease joint inflammation, and help you enjoy better quality of sleep. Bogey's Dream Studio will help you achieve a relaxed mind and body. Why wait? Call now. 731-402-0172. That's 731-402-0172 for the very best massage experience you'll ever have. Let Bogey's Dream Studio of Massage take you to a dreamy state of relaxation. Call 731-402-0172. That's Bogey's Dream Studio of Massage, 401 Federal Drive, Jackson.
It's always severe weather season in West Tennessee. When severe weather strikes, we're here for you. 96.5 FM, News Talk WTN.com.
We were running against the wind. We were young and strong. We were running against the wind.
Phone line sponsored by CWA Development. Fire and water damage restoration, plumbing, gutter, roof, and window cleaning. Pardon me. They do wood repairs, like if you've got damage to your privacy fence, they can repair that. Commercial and residential, 80 years experience, CWA Development. They just went out to John and Gina's house and did a major repair, and they stepped it up because one morning at breakfast, Gina had a little more than cream in her coffee. Part of her ceiling was in her coffee, and then Easter was bearing down. They had a big family. Larry, and they like Easter eggs. And so CWA got over there and got it fixed up so they could enjoy Easter dinner at home. Now, how about that? That's local people doing it better. Pardon me. CWA Development, 731-503-9598. If you want to join us, 731-265-6496. That's the phone number to get in with us here on the program, 731-265-6496. Again, we're watching the weather. We've got an eye to the sky, and our hound on the ground is Larry Newman. Heel. Damn it. Our launch party is Friday, April 21st, this Friday. We got the 3-time Alabama Band of the Year going to play. I'm telling you, man, they are so... Got a saxophone, and don't you love the sax?
I do.
Yes, yay, yay. Food and drinks and entertainment, prizes, and... hey, if you guys know of an after party, not guys, you girl, let us know. Larry and I want to go to the... We need a big blowout after party, don't we, Larry?
We do. We do. We
live for the after party, folks. That's this Friday. It's News Talk 96.5 and newstalk965.com. Our launch party and business after hours will be here. It's 2152 North Highland. Budweiser will be in the house. Bourbon and Barley's will be here. Several food vendors. And in fact, we're about to add some more, I believe. Who else is going to be here? I've got the list. Let me find it here because it's I know that also going to be here will be Smoothie King. They're going to be here. Where's that list at? You see my folder? Where's my folder at? Oh, here, I've got them all right here. And the reason why I want to make sure I find this list is because, man, here it is. There's some great Marco's Pizza, The Wall, and Besso's, both those restaurants out of Henderson. Smoothie King, 731 Cookie, Bourbon and Barley's, Chicken Salad Chick, Rock and Roll Sushi, Jason's Deli, and the Blacksmith Restaurant. It's a nice list, huh?
A nice list.
That's all this Friday, folks. It's all free. And if it's free, I'll take 3. That's Friday, our launch party. If the weather gets crazy, stay tuned. Stand by for news. Yvonne's on the line with us. And she's an advocate for legalizing marijuana in the state of Tennessee. And Yvonne, I tell you, it's sure is a pleasure to have you on the program. Southside girl. She's a hawk.
Funny Southside story, and I've told this on Facebook, so I can tell it here. I used to get all of my books on tape, and I told some of my Southside friends about that. And we lived out in the country.
Oh.
So after school, everybody, they would come to our house. We had a pond. And I said, okay, you can listen to my books on tape. I said, but you've either got to bring me smoke or bring me money to get some. And so we had this nice trade-off, and we would do group, work together. And all of our teachers were like, y'all work so well together. You turn in such good projects.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, if you only knew.
I thought what you were going to say when you said you guys can listen to my books on tape. I thought the punchline was going to be that they said, what, how you, on masking tape, or is it electrical tape? That wasn't that funny. But for some reason, I thought this is where you're going with it. I think because there's been some controversy. Bemis wants sidewalks, and they want them yesterday. But I won't get you into that. By the way, early voting continues. As of today, DTRB just sent this. So final number for today, early voting, Madison County, 1,703. Let me see. That's a total vote through today. Today, 298 people cast their votes in early voting. Mayor's election and several seats on the city council for grabs. Yvonne's on the line with us, and she's an advocate for legalizing marijuana in the state of Tennessee across the board. But apparently, Yvonne, there are people that know better than we do, and it's called big government disguised as small government. That's at least what some people are saying. What do you say?
The cannabis issue is something that the government shouldn't have gotten its nasty little fingers in the first place, and it wasn't done for our own good. Because, you know, if they say we're the government, we're here to help, you better run quick in the other direction. But in 1938, there was a hearing on cannabis, and it was bought by Randolph Hearst because he had bought all this forest land, and they had found a new way to make paper from wood pulp. And before that, they were using hemp to make paper. So you can't have that. And that's what started the whole cannabis illegalization prohibition fuss.
But Yvonne, let me jump in again with you, because I find this so fascinating, the way that, and I don't think many people know that hemp was legal in America till what Yvonne was saying. One of the big robber barons, so to speak, it was going to cost him some money, and he loved capitalism and the free market so much that he decided to pay off politicians to tilt the table, to rig the game. Essentially, that's what happened. Right, Yvonne?
And they used, yes, it was considered like our country's first big lobby effort on behalf of a corporation. So Randolph Hearst started it all. And even the predecessor to the American Medical Association said, you can't do this. You're going to be taking away people's medicine. And to disguise what they did, they changed the language and started calling it the evil marijuana. Scary.
And listen, I've told this story, and see if this is right, okay? Yeah, they changed it to marijuana to give it a name that sounded Mexican, right?
Yes.
And then they
because at that time there was an influx of migrants coming to work, and it was based, it was done for a corporate reason, but they used racism and even sexism to promote what they were doing. There was even one guy who said, this will make our women, for their possessions, our women want to have sex, and they named off all of these minorities entertainers.
Especially black guys, they'll be sleeping with black guys and Mexicans. And at the time, the Rolling Stones were in their second or third year, Jory, and Mick Jagger, they'll be sleeping with black guys, Mexicans, and Mick Jagger. If your wife smokes weed, and I've told that story 100 times on the air, and I don't think people believe me, and they certainly don't.
Actually, Billie Holiday, famous black jazz singer, died handcuffed to her hospital bed.
Okay, all right, explain that.
Because that was one of their victims, and they used her.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. I tell you, when
it's the oldest, longest-running travesty and hoax on the general public. We had a hearing a few years ago for one of the medical cannabis bills, one of the Senate hearings, and one of our brilliant state senators stood up there and quoted from The Onion. He had no clue that The Onion was satire, and he quoted from it to make his point.
Well, by God, you'd heard of it now.
It's, I got to tell you, I've heard others read from satirical websites presented as the news. Don't know if they didn't know that, or don't know if they were just trying to be funny. But even if you were,
they believed every word they were saying.
I think The Onion and I think the Babylon Bee have tricked some people, and people hear that and then they regurgitate it. It's kind of like trying to retell a Jerry Clower joke. The story's going to get bigger also on down the line, and I tell you, we are the most propagandized nation in the history of planet Earth, and I love history, and I could never figure out, Yvonne, how when Hitler came to power, before that, the German people may have been the most educated people on Earth, right? So how did they ever fall for that propaganda? I've never understood it until now. It's happening to us. And it's been going on for 40 years since they killed the fairness doctrine.
It's fear. They play. Fear is one of the easiest targets to strike fear into people. They do it every election season. I ran for governor in 2018 as an independent candidate. I ran as Tennessee's cannabis candidate.
And I never even, and I follow the news and never heard of you because we don't. Democracy, folks, let me explain to you what it is. It's he who has the most money in their war chest that's going to win a free and open election. Mm-hmm. That's called democracy. These other countries have it wrong. The ones that do these taxpayer-funded elections. So Yvonne would have gotten the same amount of money to get her name out as Bill Lee. That's not democracy. That's a slippery slope in Venezuela. And Yvonne, people believe that. What I just said, people will believe that.
Well, my first husband, he fell into the propaganda. He ended up falling out of it later in his life. But, I mean, it was too late, for me. I'd already lost all of my sight at that point. But fear, people are afraid. And religion plays a lot into it.
Isn't it funny because we have a constitution that separates. It is, and the founding fathers are smart enough to do this, and I keep hearing people come on the program that are speaking to large groups or maybe running for a political office, and they describe what our country and why they're running. First, God told them to, and then the second part of that is always that here's what we need to do. We started losing our morals when we took prayer to school. And I always point out to them that you can pray all day, every day in school. God can hear what you're thinking. But for some reason, he can't hear what you're thinking inside of a school building. Get real. So they create these paper dragons and then slay them in front of the people. So, but apparently they want the math teacher to be able to teach children the math teacher's version of religion if and only if it matches their religion. So, and how they think this is a good idea, I have no idea. And they don't have the intestinal fortitude to just come out and say what they want, and that is they want a theocracy. And I didn't sign up for that. And that's not what the Constitution says. And also, a lot of these people, Yvonne, and then I'm going to shut up. See, you got me on my soapbox here. Because a lot of these people were the ones in the 80s that were snorting cocaine off of hookers' backsides. So it's gone from cocaine and greed is good in the 80s, cocaine, and now it's Rogaine. And they want to try to get into heaven. And then they think they can piggyback off our backs to help get them into heaven by stopping the party right where it's at. Yeah, we partied all this. We started cocaine. Greed is good. We ended up being the generation that paved the way to bankrupt the world. But right now we're trying to get into heaven. You shouldn't smoke, drink, cuss, and certainly not smoke the devil's lettuce. That's what they're saying, really. But they're saying it in code, aren't they?
I think one of the times I got them maddest was, I think it was his probably first time that President Obama was running. And he was laughing, making jokes about how he did cocaine in college and did this and did that. And I'm like, but you want to see these people now put in prison for what you're just so blind laughing about? And, Tennessee has actually taken steps backward instead of forward. Between 1980 and 88, we had a cannabis and cancer program here in our state. And
I didn't know that.
Yes. And then Marinol became a big thing. And they said, well, that'll be, we can have that instead of this. So now all of our politicians say, well, we can have Marinol. We've got that already, so we don't need to legalize this. And then you have this other faction of people. Well, I agree with medical, but not recreational. I hate the term recreational cannabis. We do not say recreational beverages. We do not say recreational alcohol. We say adult beverages. And I have told advocates over and over and over again, use language to your best defense. Stop using the word recreational. Use the words adult use. And if it's used enough, then it's going to catch on and become part of our lexicon.
Yvonne,
but it's going to take advocates to do that.
You're brilliant, because the opponents of this are good at one thing, and that is labeling and messaging. Citizens United has nothing to do with the citizens, and it certainly didn't unite us. If that was properly labeled, it would be called the Supreme Court's decision to cut the legs out from under every man, woman, and child in America that's not a corporation. Andrew Jackson, who put a bullet in, took the central bank out back, put a bullet in it. When they brought it back, they said, we can't call it the central bank, boys. I know, the Federal Reserve. These people will think it's a part of the government. Labeling is very important. Language is critical. Think about this, Yvonne. Explain to them, like, if the penny doesn't drop when you tell them about it, because you're exactly right. I'm never going to say that again. Recreational marijuana. You're exactly right. It would. Remember when Dr. Death, Jack Kevorkian, tried to legalize assisted suicide? Had he called it something other than assisted suicide, he'd have taken suicide out of it. Called it something like early retirement, it may have passed. Labeling is everything, because they're coming at you from all different directions more times a day than ever before to try to confuse you and separate you from your money, essentially, and try off our taxpayer backs to make money for themselves. Yvonne, that's a brilliant observation on your part. Are they going along?
You can hear the opponent when they're talking about it, and they will all but smear out the word recreational, like it's a 4-letter filthy word. And the only way to counteract that is to stop using it ourselves. That's why, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you wouldn't have heard people in general conversation use the word cannabis. And now you do. And along with a whole lot of other names. And it just depends on who you're speaking to, who you're talking to. Don't walk into Jackson's U.S. Representative Kustoff. Don't walk into his office in D.C. and say, hey, man, legalize weed. Don't do that.
Yeah, they're probably Mark.
But I do encourage people to contact both state and local representatives and senators and just let them know if this is something you think should be legal, if you think it should be decriminalized, let them know, because if you don't say it, they won't know it. And you've got to say it to them, because at the end of the day, our legislature is where things are going to happen. It's where it's going to have to happen. And Nashville has done a thing. Their district attorney he said, I will no longer prosecute cannabis for a half ounce or less. It's still illegal, but I will not waste taxpayer dollars. I will not waste court time on prosecuting this. So, hey, contact Jackson's district attorney or Madison County and let them know, hey, why don't you do that here?
Yvonne, is with us. Yvonne, what's your full name?
Yvonne Hubert.
Yvonne, in Tennessee right now, cultivators, marijuana and hemp, they're the same plant, in case you're wondering, kids, if you need to make notes. Tennessee has legalized the cultivation of hemp and defined hemp as cannabis sativa. And so with that, it contains like 0.3% of THC, as I understand it, and that's the THC is what?
0.3.
Yeah, 0.3. So that's legal in Tennessee. If that's low a dosage of THC, would you be better off just to go out in the front yard and just get some Bermuda grass and roll it up into a doobie and smoke?
No, CBD has its place, and CBD has its purpose. I think our bodies are best served with the whole plant. I use Delta 8 to sleep, Delta 8 chocolates. And it has worked on me better, and I am not taking Ambien. I am too much of a chicken to be doing that, especially when this works. But you can still sell a drug test for the legal hemp product.
And there's something fundamentally wrong with that. You can buy this completely legal at tobacco stores, but a legal product could have you failing a drug test because the insurance companies, they're in the business of collecting free money. And so anything they think that may blur your vision, you're out. That's how it is. It's pretty amazing. And Yvonne mentioned that this is one of the greatest scams ever perpetrated on human beings. You know, changing the name of hemp to marijuana, making it sound Mexican, then telling white men that if your wife smokes this, she'll start sleeping with black guys and Mexicans and probably Mick Jagger. And so that scared the you-know-what out of white guys. They said, oh, no, we're not having any of that. And so that's out. That's how they criminalized it for the benefits of just a very few people to make a ton of money. Now, as they try to figure out, because, Larry, have you ever tried to make, for example, Oxycontin in your backyard?
No.
You'd have a difficult time with that, but you could grow some marijuana, right? So, Yvonne, that's one thing they're trying to figure out is how to very few people control. Because as I understand it, that there would be a very limited number of dispensaries in Tennessee if marijuana were legalized. And they'll break it down into the three, already we have 3 grand divisions. There'll be a certain number of marijuana dispensaries in East, in Middle, and then in West Tennessee. So, and in order to get in that business, if you're a small guy trying to get into business, work hard, and you want to join the rich and famous with that house on the hill, that big white picket fence, in a nation that promises you the American dream, which is social mobility. By the way, we're not even in the top 20 any longer in the American dream in social mobility, and the reason why we're not is because corporate America is taking every piece of the pie they can get. Frog in a boiling water. They didn't do this overnight, folks. It's a slow, methodical process. These people are brilliant, and they're very patient. So you're not getting in the marijuana business, guy. No. That's what they're doing right now. They're just trying to iron out the wrinkles, aren't they?
We had actually, in one of the Senate hearings, someone from the Sheriff's Association, Tennessee Sheriff's Association, actually say that if y'all, legalize cannabis, then it would do police departments out of money.
Yeah, there's
and I'm like,
separate,
you actually sat there and said that. I mean, it's true. It's true.
There's a separate economy out there, Yvonne, and I don't know how this is getting past people. If you were to think about the money generated and the salaries paid to probation officers, for example, and and the leg bracelets or whatever they call them if you're on probation. Think about that for a minute. Then think about all this penny ante stuff where you get caught with some bud. Who you putting at risk? No one, essentially, if you're not operating a motor vehicle. If you're trying to transport it home to smoke a little with you and your girly friend, Larry. Maybe she's a curvy girl. I don't know. But this is the next step here would be to, Larry, if you're getting after a couple of, let's just say, those special brownies, say they came in from Colorado, for example. You and your girlfriend are watching 50 Shades of Grey. All of a sudden, they kick your door in, dressed like they're about to invade Poland. Yvonne, this is essentially what they're doing without having to kick your door in yet.
Then, everybody thinks, it's the medical industry that's our biggest opponent. It is a big opponent, the pharmaceutical industry. But also it's law enforcement and the for-profit prison industry.
Yeah, you had named the number one enemy.
Are fighting because they need their money. They need that money.
Yeah, but the number one enemy is the Mexican drug cartel. And so...
We try to go fix everything else in everybody else's countries. But,
no, we don't. No, we don't. Unless you have oil, then we'll try. We'll spread those democracy seeds if you have oil.
If you have oil.
If you don't, hey, sorry guys, we're not an imperialistic country anymore. So what can we do to get involved? What would you suggest if people want to see the lettuce, Mary Jane, legalized in Tennessee?
Like I said, contact your district attorney and say, hey, can you mirror what they're doing in Nashville? Contact your state house and your state senate and let them know this is where I stand and this is where, my vote might go. Contact your federal. I think, I like things on a state level, but if a state legalizes and it's not legal federally, you're still at risk. You're still at risk. And stand up and be heard. People think, well, if I show up to that rally, I'm going to be targeted. Let me tell you, me and a friend of mine a few years ago went to our chief of police. He's now the director for the TVI, Chief Roush. And we went to his office, and when we walked in, he knew everything about us. He did. He didn't come after us, not for coming into his office, having a conversation. Except the funny part is, he said, well, I can tell if somebody's high. Well, my friend kicked me under the table, and I just about busted out laughing. And I'm like, all right, say that again.
Yeah, it's there was one bill that died early March. Veterans, by the way, American veterans are pushing to legalize medical marijuana in Tennessee. And they point out to Arkansas, which it's part of the SEC states, Southeastern Conference football, the Bible Belt. Arkansas legalized it, and one of the arguments being made by some Army veterans, if you look at Arkansas that has medical only, they're projecting that they made $25 million in tax revenue. Now, a lot of these people, you're not going to get their attention, these politicians, with the sanctity of life unless it's for the unborn and making decisions for strangers about their health and whether it be rape, incest, but they're very concerned when it comes to the lettuce. And money. So it's not going to be your freedom or your life that will get their attention. It's going to be tax dollars. Would you say that's a fair statement?
That's a very fair statement.
And Yvonne,
in Huntington, and
Yvonne,
she was like,
I'm sorry. I'm being rude, but I'm behind. Do you mind holding just for a couple minutes, and we'll come back and do one more segment?
Go make your money there.
Okay, you stay right there. Get your cup of coffee. Do you drink coffee?
I do. That's
right.
my addiction there.
Okay, or fire up a fatty. We don't care, and we'll come right back to you, Yvonne. If you stay right there, Yvonne's on the line with us. Fascinating to me, the conversation. How about you, Larry?
Really?
I'm learning, aren't you?
I'm learning.
We'll be right back. If you want to join us, I hung up on two people accidentally, so jump back in there with us, and we'll be right back with you here in just a moment.
This is WBFG 96.5 FM. 96.5 FM. Parker's Crossroads, Jackson.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomas. A widely used abortion.
Having trouble losing the belly fats, having trouble sleeping, lack of daytime energy. I was suffering from all these things, and several months ago, I decided to do something about it. I called Dr. Shannon Bone at Advanced Rehab and Medical. A simple test can change your life. It did for me. So call Dr. Shannon Bone, do what I did, and ask if BioTE is right for you. You'll be glad you did.
Not too expensive, nothing too fancy, just an authentic Italian family recipe served up piping hot, just like a pizza pie should be. Locally owned and operated Carico's Pizza, home of the $8 lunch special. 2 slices and a drink for just $8. Buy the slice or the 28-inch monster, perfect for the bowl game. Carico's Pizza, 1370 Union University Drive. For catering, call 731-240-1033. For the full menu, visit caricospizza.com.
For nearly 30 years, Cambridge Limited has been the place where West Tennesseans come for their dress clothes needs. We are so thankful for the many customers who have stood by us through the years and allowed us to play such a special role in the biggest moments of their lives. Our customer service is unparalleled, and our tailors work around the clock to ensure that your clothes are custom fit to you. With no suit in the store more than $2.59, there is something for everybody here at Cambridge. Come and see what we are all about, or give us a call to book your own wedding appointment today at Cambridge.
Is your office or home office in need of a new printer, copier, fax, or multifunction machine? Do you need business cards, envelopes, or office supplies? Are you looking to upgrade to new office furniture? Office World Incorporated in Trenton has been serving all of the Gibson County and the West Tennessee area for over 65 years. Office World is a franchise partner of OfficeZilla. Call today, 731-855-9131, or email officeworldinc@gmail.com.
Are you struggling with
At Gene Langley Ford in Humboldt. And right now, our price is your price. Our price is your price. Our price is your price. And remember, March is Ford Truck Month. What's better than 20% over invoice, or 15% over invoice, or 10% over invoice? How about 0% over invoice? It's happening now at Gene Langley Ford. Our price is your price. That's right. Our price is your price.
If you're in business, you know just how important each call is. You don't have time for phone or internet downtime. Your business needs a reliable communications partner 24/7. You need Lifeline Voice and Data. Lifeline Voice and Data provides telephone service to emergency service facilities all over West Tennessee and beyond. For your business, we don't just provide a phone line. We provide a lifeline. Lifeline Voice and Data.
9 a.m. weekdays on The Dan Reeves Show. The Range presents Rapid Fire. Answer the question. One sentence only. Brought to you by The Range.
Go to therange.com.
Hi, this is Sarah Beth Langley at Gene Langley Ford. When it's time to buy a new vehicle, it's important to deal with someone you can trust. At Gene Langley Ford, we're truly a small-town family business and have been for over 40 years. With low overhead, we give you as much or more than anyone else for your trade. Great deals on F-150s, Explorers, Escapes, plus Broncos, Rangers, and the new Mustang Mach-E. With easy financing, no one is turned away. A free lifetime warranty and an award-winning service department. You really should try Gene Langley Ford before you buy. The dealership service built. Hi, this is Sarah Beth Langley at Gene Langley Ford in Humboldt. And right now, our price is your price. Our price is your price. Our price is your price. And remember, March is Ford Truck Month. What's better than 20% over invoice or 15% over invoice or 10% over invoice? How about 0% over invoice? It's happening now at Gene Langley Ford. Our price is your price. That's right. Our price is your price.
If you're in business, you know just how important.
Hey everybody, this is Chandler Lewis with Gene Langley Ford. Today I'm going to talk about the 23 Bronco Sport Badland. The heart of this beast is a 2.0 EcoBoost, producing 250 horsepower and 277 foot-pounds of torque. And it does power a 4x4 system, which means you can get over any terrain possible. To go over any obstacle you have a 17-inch gray aluminum wheel wrapped in a all-terrain Pirelli tire. Now to the back, you're looking at 65 cubic feet of space, which means you can fit 3 golden retrievers back here, groceries, or even if you're constantly moving boxes. But no matter what, you can celebrate by opening a bottle. Now moving on to the interior, you have an ebony roast with heated front seats. You do have a 8-inch display backed with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Now one of my favorite parts is the GOAT modes. So as I was talking about earlier, you have 7 different drive modes. The GOAT modes is what gets you to that different terrain. So if you guys liked anything I spoke about, the horsepower, cargo space, or even the interior, come see me today at Gene Langley Ford. Again, Chandler Lewis.
Or call 731-345-7011.
Hi, my name's Dawn. I have been taking BioTE at Advanced Medical. My moods are better. I sleep well. My husband has complimented me on the mood swings that are no longer affecting our marriage.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there's an exciting, natural solution available called BioTE. BioTE uses a natural way for men and women to correct these problems by safely and accurately balancing hormone levels without the use of synthetic injections or cream.
I got blood work done, and they identified what hormones were out of balance. They gave me the bioidentical hormone pellets through BioTE, and now I have more energy, no more brain fog, I'm sleeping better, and I feel like my old self again. I would recommend Advanced Rehab and Medical and their BioTE program to anyone suffering with symptoms like mine. It's been life-changing.
To book your appointment, call 731-462-8580. That's 731-462-8580.
News Talk 96.5 FM weather, presented by Dustin Ring. Dustin buys houses fast for cash. Call Dustin today, 731-200-1362. Tuesday brings more sunshine and high temps in the lower 80s. South winds 10 to 15, gusting to 25. Mostly clear tonight and windy, some gusts may reach 25. Dustin buys houses fast for cash. DustinBuys.com. For weather 24/7, visit newstalk965.com.
The Memphis Grizzlies play here. 96.5 FM, News Talk, West Tennessee. NewsTalkWTN.com.
Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling that something ain't right. I'm so scared in case I fall off my chair. And I'm wondering how I'll get down the stairs. Clowns to the left of me.
521, good Tuesday afternoon. Dan Reeves along with Larry Newman Hello, Newman.
Hello, Reeves.
521, it's 80 degrees. It feels like it's 80 degrees outside right now. But the Gene Langley Ford Studio in Jackson, here on News Talk 96.5 FM and News Talk 96.5.com. I think it's the best website around. We got our launch party set for Friday, this Friday from 5 to 7. It's also, we'll be hosting business after hours. So the Red Coast will be here. There'll be food, there'll be drink, there'll be entertainment. We have the Alabama 3-time Band of the Year going to be performing, and everybody's invited. Budweiser will be here with the Budweiser tents and all that come along with Budweiser and Central Distributors. When they show up, it's going to be a party, isn't it?
It is.
We want you to be here with us, our friends, our family, our acquaintances, or possible in the future maybe girlfriends and boyfriends, that sort of thing, right?
You never know.
And please send us your PSAs, your community events, your church functions to community events at newstalk965.com. We'll be glad to get those on the air for you, won't we, Laird?
We will.
But wait, there's more. Watson's Cleaning Service, they clean our office. They clean that big, beautiful building sitting at the corner of the Bypass and Airways UTAG Experiment Station. I think the ceiling in there is maybe 1,700 feet above ground. It is a tall ceiling. They clean a building that size. They can clean factories, your office, doesn't matter. The best in commercial cleaning, locally owned and operated Watson's Cleaning Service. They strip and wax floors. They buff. They clean offices, pull trash, sweep and mop and vacuum. Baseboards, wipe down walls, wash dishes, dusting and organizing. Call today, 731-293-3808, 731-293-3808 for Watson's Cleaning Service, locally owned and operated. Yvonne's on the line with us. And Yvonne, you might have had a call in with you. People are standing by and think they want to talk with you.
That is great.
Okay, so we'll lead it off with this phone call. You're live here with Yvonne on News Talk 96.5. Go right ahead for Yvonne.
Hey, Dan.
Yes, how are you, Rick? Big Rig. Big Rick, say hello to Yvonne.
Is this a newcomer to Jackson, Madison County?
No, she's from Jackson originally. She lived in the Tri-City area, northeast Tennessee, and she's in Knoxville now. She's a South Side girl.
She's a South Side high school girl?
That's right, yes.
Oh, okay.
If she's on the line, she can speak in the first person if you have any questions.
Well, what's her insight about her hometown?
Yvonne, I'm gonna let you answer that since you're on the line. Okay,
I missed. What did you say?
Well, Rick, that was such a general question. Do you have any questions or comments about the subject matter we're talking about today? And that's the legalization, the possibility of marijuana in Tennessee across the board, or medical marijuana.
Well, that's pretty much a dead argument. It's not going to happen, and the reason being, Tennessee certainly does not need any further use of illicit drugs because Tennessee leads the state of the Southeast for certain, and is rated third in the nation for abusing pharmaceutical drugs.
Well, that is true.
Methamphetamine.
Yep. She's not advocating for methamphetamine or for OxyContin. She's not. Just a minute. She's not advocating for that.
Yeah.
Rick, now be an adult here for just a moment. We let you come into the adult table. You're going to get sent right back to the children's table if you're not careful. But if you want to make some points, obviously you're an opponent. What is it about the lettuce that scares you? Because, now that you know that was propaganda about if your wife smokes it, she will start sleeping with Mexicans, with blacks, and also with Mick Jagger. That's not real.
Because you have no experience in the dealings of law enforcement, Danny. That's why you.
Well, you didn't have much one. You had a cup of coffee and they ran you off. But Yvonne's on the line.
Let's get down to the brass tacks.
Okay, I've got a question.
Yeah, just a minute, Rick. She's trying to talk with you. Let her talk to you.
I've got a question for you. Okay, you said dealt with law enforcement. Okay, what makes law enforcement more of an authority than, say, a veteran who was willing to go to a foreign shore and spill his blood.
Yeah, that's me. Go ahead.
Why would a police officer have more knowledge and everything than a veteran would about cannabis and cannabis use? And I'm saying this because our number one advocacy group across the country is our veterans.
Okay. First of all, we have adequate medication. I am a retired career veteran, and believe you me, the marijuana that Danny has grown up with is certainly different than the marijuana that everyone wants to promote as some kind of needed drug, when the doctor has in his formulary adequate drugs.
All right, Rick, let me stop you just a minute because I want Yvonne to address a couple of things. By the way, you just contradicted yourself. You just told us how Tennesseans have fallen in love with the pills that doctors subscribe, and now you're advocating for it again, saying we have enough of those. We got plenty of painkillers. The addictive and the lure of a medication that will essentially, and Yvonne, in some ways, carve out a new way of thinking when it comes to endorphins in your head, very similar to heroin. We have legislators that pave the way for Big Pharma to bring those pills in by the tractor trailer loads, and also prevented our government from investigating large shipments of opiates. Now, you tell me how you square this up with those facts versus, well, but we love you too much to let you smoke a natural plant. Yvonne, how would you, first of all, what is it? What's the definition of illicit drug?
Yeah, illicit drug, and what makes a drug illicit. If cannabis prohibition was not even done for health reasons, it was actually done against the advice of medical doctors in the 30s. They advised against it. And the only reason it was made illegal was for the Randolph Hearst Corporation. And if you think back, we had alcohol, then they served prohibition, but they still had all of these people in place. After alcohol prohibition was repealed, they had to do something with this branch of law enforcement. So the timing was perfect for making cannabis illegal, and boom, there you go. All of the federal agents and all the agents that were arresting people for moonshining, they had a new job and a new thing to do, and so that kept the bureaucracy going. Our government has had a tendency for a long time now to create jobs just for jobs' sake. You've heard the term overblown bureaucracy. And that's part of what happened during Prohibition. But to answer Rick's question, I had to be on fentanyl after I had my eyes removed in 2005. And the only reason I had to take such a strong, dangerous medicine is because I knew I was going to be looking for work. So I had to stop cannabis use for the meantime until I healed and got a job. Fentanyl was the most hellish thing I have ever been through in my life. I'm sitting here now, my pulse has gone up just thinking about, I could not be left alone. The medication was so bad. And you said, why do we need something else? With cannabis, there are so few side effects. And even DARE program had to take down off of their website that it was highly addictive because it was proven false. That it was
not true.
Yeah, no, actually, Rick, it is true.
It's
not.
Rick, just
It's
a minute.
not true.
Rick. Now, cite your source because this woman follows this very closely.
Well, she needs to go and get some updated literature, Danny, because
So what did
within
you?
the last
Where
6
are you
months,
getting your literature?
So what updated literature?
essentially, Miss, you need to, even the AMA, okay, has identified the fact that respiratory infection and disease is highly more acceptable to the human that possesses and smokes marijuana. Now, the source of marijuana...
Rick. We're not going to do this. You want to go on? You want to filibuster? Now let her address what you just said.
Okay.
Rick, let her address what you just said.
Actually, in the 70s, our government, in its infinite wisdom, the only time our government does studies on cannabis is to try to prove that it's harmful. So they had a 30-year study, and it was taken on by Donald Tashcombe at UCLA. And he thought, okay, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to get paid to show that people who smoke pot are probably going to be more prone to get lung cancer. Well, guess what? It was proven wrong. This is a 30-year study that they did, and it proved that cannabis not only prevented some cancer cells from growing, it also, contrary to popular belief, expanded the lungs instead of contracting the lungs. And it also showed that people who smoke nothing, no cigarettes, no cannabis, smoke nothing, period, are more likely, not a whole lot more, but more likely to get get cancer than someone.
No, that's not true.
Rick, if you want to learn something, listen and learn.
No, it's not true.
Yeah, it is true.
Our government.
No, it's not. It's just like last week.
If I'm talking to a third grader here.
Being laced with marijuana, Danny.
What's
so
that?
Even you certainly need to find a
Rick.
grow your own.
Rick, if you're scared of it, get in my pocket. Here's a good idea. If you disagree with gay marriage, don't marry a man. How about that? If you disagree with smoking marijuana, here's another one for you. Don't smoke it. I'm tired of you advocating, you and your like, advocating for big daddy governments. You are a part of this crowd that's scared, and you need a savior, and you want to infiltrate the rest of us who enjoy freedom. I'm not interested. I didn't sign up for this crap. Don't waste my time with this. You don't know what you're talking about. But if you want to listen and learn, you're advocating right now against the majority, huge majority of American veterans. And you want to come in here and act like you're advocating for them. Look, I said this morning and I'll say it again. I hope you listen to me. That my parents, for example, have never followed politics. All of a sudden, they're experts on it. You know how? They listen to Tucker Carlson. That's how. They never met him before. They'll never meet them in their natural life. They trust him over me. Okay? All right. Now, here's something for you. It's breaking news. Fox News has settled their defamation lawsuit with Dominion. Fox News and Dominion have reached a $787.5 million settlement. Fox News did that before it went into trial because they couldn't stand what you were going to hear in trial. I don't know why they're scared of that, because they have on tape, or not tape, but they have the text messages between the three main hosts saying Donald Trump's an idiot, he's going to ruin our country, and then they go right on the air and say something totally different. Rupert Murdoch cannot do this in his home country of Hungary or where he grew up in Australia, because they take democracy much more seriously than we do. That's why he's not doing this in Australia. They won't allow it. They won't allow an oligarch to run their country and buy their government. That's why he's in America. Now, Fox News has agreed to settle the $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit filed against the network over its broadcast of lies aimed at undercutting public confidence in the outcome of the 2020 presidential election. Fox News and Dominion Voting Systems agreed to a $787.5 million settlement today. This is breaking. Now, according to Dominion attorney Justin Nelson, just as attorneys were set to outline their case to jurors ahead of the trial testimony in what has been the most closely watched media trial in decades, the truth matters, Nelson said. Lies have consequences, close quote. Now, the details of the settlement were not immediately available, specifically if Fox will need to issue any type of retraction. Dominion sued Fox News and its parent corporation in 2021, claiming the network knowingly broadcast lies being perpetrated by former President Donald Trump and his attorneys as he clung to power in the months after the 2020 elections. Now, the Denver-based voting technology company said the lies caused more than $1 billion in damage and led to its employees receiving death threats. Last month, presiding Judge Eric Davis ruled that it was crystal clear the allegations broadcast by Fox News and claiming that Dominion's technology was responsible for fraudulently flipping the election were false. That left it up to a jury to decide whether Fox News knew those allegations were false, which triggers legal liability. What was at stake in Dominion versus Fox? The settlement came hours before the trial testimony that was expected to feature a parade of high-profile Fox personalities and leaders including Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, Rupert Murdoch, and former U.S. House Speaker Paul Ryan. Now, the Fox News defamation trial also... we're going to get more into this tomorrow because we're running short on time. We got Yvonne on the line with us here. I don't know your thoughts on that, Rick, but and Yvonne, but Fox News coughed up well over $250 million to keep Sean Hannity and company off of the witness stand because of the type of things that we're going to have to reveal in that trial. You never know because they have faced these liable cases before, and their attorneys have said, Tucker Carlson's case a couple of times, that, Your Honor, no reasonable person would believe what my client says. And it's not made any difference at all. People still watch it and believe he's I mean, essentially what he said was my client's lying, and all these people should know that. And it doesn't, the penny never drops for some reason. Yvonne, we'll start with you. What's your thoughts on this case? It's pretty big.
You know what? I think it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Because everyone knows Fox has their bias, but also everyone knows CNN, MSNBC, they have their bias.
NPR
that's true. Used to not be, but now it is.
Well, yeah, it seems like it because if you're in the middle these days, you're considered a flaming liberal. But here's the thing. Yes, I think ABC, NBC, and MSNBC have a leaned left, but do they intentionally lie to the American people like that? And I've not seen them do that. I'm not a fan of any of them across the board.
I'll tell you something that happened, and I have not listened to it since. I used to be an avid All Things Considered listener, and I come from radio broadcast background, and I have done a lot of editing, and I know how to listen. And we actually caught NPR splicing and re-editing President Trump to make him say something totally different than what he actually...
Let me say this, though. You wouldn't have to edit him at all if you wanted him to say...
But they did. That was a fact.
That may be
but
true.
That
may be true, but that's not what we're talking about right now. You went from Fox News to NPR. And there was just a $787 million Fox just coughed that up. And this is what concerns me in America. And we're talking about NPR, which that may be true. I think we ought to scrap the whole thing. Don't get me wrong. I think it's the corporations own the national media outlets. We were warned what would happen if they did fall in the hands of a few people. They'd be used as propaganda. But here we go again. Okay, my guy got caught and it cost $1 billion. But what about NPR? Okay, let's deal with one at a time here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Everybody, I think everybody's day will come, and I don't understand why, as a nation as a whole, we are not more media savvy than we are.
Because you're gullible.
Because you have people who will listen to their particular media,
right,
and they will eat it up, and not even. I had to do this in broadcasting classes, and it's just a habit I've kept up with over the years. Is I listen to all of them because I want to know what they actually said before somebody else picks it up. I want to know what was actually said.
Yeah, in my line of work, I do the same thing because I have to, but it's disheartening. Rick, what do you make of that Fox coughing up that type of money to avoid going to trial?
Well, that just goes to show you that over the last, since 1967, you are now, young man and young lady, going to reap the benefits of the leftist cleansing of this country.
I have no idea where that fit in with this, but the question, maybe you didn't hear me, what do you make of this Fox coughing up, over right at $750 million to avoid going to trial, because Dominion saying they were Fox is lying. The judge agreed with Dominion. Fox was lying about the election being stolen, and this looks bad.
That court was in Delaware, right?
Delaware's in the United States. Isn't that right?
Oh, no, it's Biden's dummy country up there.
Jeez. So you're telling me, because this was in Delaware, Fox has a Fox News Corporation where they could be saying this all day, every day. And for some reason, you're the only one saying it now, not Fox News. When they had their chance to prove it in court, they said, we're going to pass on that. We'll just write you a check. So, I mean, knock it off, Rick.
Oh, you knock it off.
No. Fox had their chance to prove in court that they were telling the truth, and they decided not to take it and scratch out over a $750 million check. Does that not wake you up?
Well, what I want to get...
No. You're gonna answer this question. You don't get to go to your agenda here. Answer the question.
Use, Mayor.
For some reason, you have a hard time understanding the rules of engagement here. I give you plenty of time almost daily, but I do require you to answer some direct questions. You're not on the air right now. You're potted down. I'm not going to try to compete with you here, Rick. I want you to answer the question, then you can move on to something else. Now, answer the question. What does that tell you that Fox News scratched out a check of that size to avoid going to court to defend their good name?
Hey, man, it's just the way the world has turning, and you're going to have to deal with it, Danny.
I'm going to have to. Wait, so they just did it because...
if they will do it to Fox News, who else will they...
Fox News did it to themselves, idiots. Listen to me. Slam that sewer underneath your nose shut for half a second. And listen to me. That sewer, slam it shut. Fox News had a chance in America to go into the courthouse and tell Dominion, we told the truth. Hugo Chavez and Venezuela stole the election through Dominion, who's based out of Denver. They had a chance to do it under oath. They didn't. What does that tell you, sir? It's a little bit different in a court under oath than it is in front of a court of public opinion, isn't it, Rick?
Well, the lady...
Well, nothing. And you want to implement that model on the local level all across America. Do you people hate America? Or is it you've just drank so much Kool-Aid, you just can't root against your favorite team? What is it? I've got to know. I've had it up to here. Because if this continues, we're out of business as a country. You're an adult. Respond to a very logical question. What does that tell you that Fox just wrote over a $750 million check to avoid defending their good name?
Do you
What does
realize
that tell
how
you?
destructive? What I'm telling you is you don't recognize the fact that Colorado is in desperate situations because Eva, they decided
Colorado.
to sell marijuana.
Okay.
Go check out Denver, Colorado.
Oh,
now,
Lord.
if you want to smoke marijuana, grow you a plant in the house. Don't tell nobody. And for God's sake, if you're capable of driving, do not drive after smoking dope. It's not a good thing. You'll be putting along like Danny at 15, 20 miles an hour on his motor scooter.
Yvonne,
Yeah.
is that true? Is that true? What Rick said that Denver is just hanging on by thread since they legalized marijuana?
Absolutely.
I'm not
It's
asking you,
worse
Rick.
than
I heard you.
Francisco.
Slam that sewer shut half a second, Yvonne. What is that true?
A friend of mine just got back from Colorado, and in Tennessee, we have no really good transportation service. In Colorado now, they have a statewide bus system throughout their state. That's where some of that cannabis taxation money has gone to. They've closed prisons and opened schools. We're building new prisons in Tennessee.
So, Rick, how does that taste? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. They're closing prisons and opening schools in Colorado.
And believe you me, Colorado has plummeted into tragic.
Hey, Rick, I got to tell you, you do realize that the people who live in Colorado voted to continue this, right? And you're in, where are you? In Madison County, Tennessee. What do you know that the people that live in Colorado don't know?
Well, Colorado does.
Since you know better than the people that live in Colorado.
They've got a leftist governor out there. That will,
that's what it is.
Tell Eva anything.
That's what it is.
See,
you don't know anything, Rick. That's your problem. You don't know anything. And you hate other Americans that don't agree with 100% of what you say. And you claim to be a Christian. That's comical. You need to check your WWJD bracelet. I bet it's made out of hemp, by the way. Maybe you want to.
I don't hate you.
You come in and spread hate and misinformation on a daily basis. Can
you be so ignorant and be on the airwaves?
Well,
how can you?
I hope you're looking in the mirror. Let me remind you. I'm not calling yours. I'm not calling your show. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
It's
well,
because you
bottom
don't
line
have
is,
one.
You're not a traveler. You don't have very much life experience. I don't know about Eva. Eva, have you traveled around the world a little bit?
I've been to 38 different states, and I've been to
what about
Canada
out of country?
and Mexico. That's the only places out of the country.
Mexico's out
Canada
of the country, Rick.
and Mexico.
Yeah. Well, not really.
Yeah.
Not really. Mexico owns you, boy. You can get cheaper gasoline in Mexico than you can in California, Larry boy.
Oh, boy.
So take that and put it in your pipe
Rick,
and smoke it.
You really shouldn't call in when you're 3 sheets in the wind.
Hey, really, Dan Ho, go buy you some laced marijuana with some fentanyl in it, son. We'll have a talk. if you survive.
Yes, see, listen to that talk right there.
That was
Yeah.
a very Christian thing
Yeah,
to say,
it was, Rick.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
it's out there, Larry. Go get him some.
Yeah,
He
it's
wants to
Hey,
promote
that's
this crap.
when you got to know where your stuff's grown, and you got to know who you buy it from.
yeah, Rick, shut up and stop interrupting her. You just made a very good case for legalizing marijuana. Over 100,000 overdose deaths from fentanyl poisoning. So, Rick, you're advocating now to legalize marijuana.
Go to the doctor, for God's sake. Go to the doctor.
That's where those scripts came that led to the opiate crisis in America, and Tennessee leads the country. So again, now you're sending us to Dr. Feelgood. See, not everybody doesn't need a daddy like you do, Rick, in the form of a government to tell you what to do. We didn't sign up for this. So stop wasting our time with this gibberish. Stop trying to convince us that you know more about what's good for the people in Colorado than the people that live there, and continue to vote legalize marijuana in. Rick, it's illogical, the things. I know you've heard this and you're trying to regurgitate it, but it was ridiculous when you heard it, and it's even more ridiculous when you try to regurgitate what the adults said.
Because you haven't arrested people for using illicit drugs, Danny. You have no life experience to fall back on.
Okay. Well, I'm not listening to your show.
Okay. Well, go smoke some, son.
Yeah.
Probably need to calm down a little bit.
Oh, I'm calm. I'm calm.
All right.
It's been
a great afternoon. Catch
Okay,
y'all
Big Rick.
later.
Thank you, Big Rick.
Take it easy, Eva.
Hey, Rick, get you a couple of those.
Bye.
Get you a couple of those brownies, and then you can quote George W. Bush when you said, "Brownie, you're doing a heck of a job." After you've had about half. Yeah, Eva, that was.
Well, he could go straight for the hard stuff and go for Bud Light.
Well, hey, I love some Budweiser and Bud Light. They're going to be here for our launch party, by the way.
I know, I heard.
Yeah, you ought to come to that, and we need to talk again. I think some. I don't know. I think in parts of the country, there's been some ground made up. There's been some advancement.
There has been,
but I'm not sure in Tennessee.
And well, actually, there's some things happening. Nothing moved this year, but there's some things happening in the background that every year, we sway one more senator, one more state senator. It's slow and I have no answer as to, except for the lobbyists and the money that's made from prohibition. When Beth Harwell, this 2018, when I ran for governor, she kept saying the same thing that Dude said about Colorado, but she could not, just like him, come up with a definitive, well, this is what is happening. She said, well, you should see what's happening in Boulder. But she wouldn't say what is happening.
Yeah, the
in Boulder.
problem is with that, but this is the best example I can think of. Larry, you may have been here this day. Emily was talking with her friend before the show, Teresa, who lives in Gold Coast, Australia. Mm-hmm. And this was during the lockdown. And she just told us before the show, it was one of her kids' birthdays. She got 3 kids. And she took the trip with the kids for their birthday to this amusement park, this water park, and then to the beach. And they just gotten back home. And she was telling Emily all about it. And we go on the air, and we get a phone call from Beach Bluff that's calling, that's attacking Emily over Australia being socialist. And we're like, well, what do you mean by that? And they got everybody locked down. You can't go anywhere over there right now. And I said, wait a minute. We just got off the phone with Teresa in Gold Coast, New Queensland. And here's what she did for the day. And he said, that's BS. I don't believe a word of it. And I was like, she did a FaceTime call, guy. I mean, what? And he would not back up. He knew more about what was happening in Teresa's life in Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia than Teresa knew. And that's the way it is today. And there's no backing up. I'm not sure we can unring the bell. When Fox News scratches out a check for over $750 million, instead of having their day in court to straighten it out, to show people the evidence, no, this election was stolen. And here's the evidence, and Dominion, what we said about Dominion was true. They have a chance to do that, and they say, we'll just write you a check. And
but that's business as usual.
No, it's not. This is the First Amendment they're destroying.
I know.
It's not business as usual. It shouldn't be taken that lightly.
It is for big corporations. It is business as usual. Look at our coal mines.
No, I'm with you.
When they get
get
regulations,
but this
and
is why we're
violations,
talking.
They don't fix them.
This
they
is
don't
why we're
fix them.
talking.
They pay it off.
This is why you can't twist up a doobie in Tennessee.
That's right.
When you have glaucoma, is for reasons like this. They've got everyone fixated on the Second Amendment while they're destroying the First Amendment. That's a mockery of the First Amendment, scratching that check out, and they'll be back on the night lying to my parents. And then my parents will hate people that are fellow Americans because of those lies. So they scratch out a check for over $750 million, and it doesn't matter.
And they keep on saying the same or same.
Yep. So I give up. The truth is a casualty, and it is, and it's always a casualty in the case of propaganda. And I think this is a fascist movement. Best I can tell, folks. It's a movement.
And we're back at the beginning of this conversation.
Yeah, we are.
Propaganda.
Yeah, and so we have a representative form of government. That means we elect leaders to advocate for what we want as people, right? And over what is it, Larry? Over 70% of Americans now want some sort of a single-payer health system. No, we know better. You don't need one of those. While we pay their Cadillac health care, the peasants pay for the politicians' Cadillac health care. To me, that would be socialism that they hate so much. The welfare queens are out there. It's called, Big Oil has never made more money than they made in the last few years. Never, ever in the history of Earth. We still subsidize them. It's welfare, corporate welfare. Who was it? Pfizer, the CEO, watched him on national TV. Presented himself as a martyr, saying, we're going to save millions of lives in America and across the world, and we're not motivated by money. How much they make off that Pfizer COVID vaccine?
Oh.
Over $1 billion?
Hand over fist.
So, folks, you get what you put up with. They laugh at you. In a sheriff's election several years back, maybe 10, 12 years back, there were cards, mailers sent out saying, elect me sheriff and I'll stop Obamacare. Now, the people that mailed that knew it was a lie. They were laughing at the people because they knew they'd believe it. Their very own friends, family, citizens in a small town in America, in a small county, they had the lack of intestinal fortitude, a lack of morality to send those out, laughing because they knew the people would believe it. And so that's where we are today in America, and that's why you're on the line with us.
People aren't taking their own responsibility for their own thoughts, and they're not taking their own responsibility to... We've got all of this technology at our fingertips, and people don't read. They just listen to who they like. Yeah. And somebody said something about Ted Nugent, or somebody said this or somebody said that. I'm like, dude, Ted Nugent doesn't even live in your world. These people who are talking, Sean Hannity's, Bill O'Reilly, Tucker Carlson, Keith Olbermann, Rachel Maddow, all of them, they don't live in our world. They don't live the lives we do. Nancy Pelosi, Donald Trump, some of your higher elected officials, they don't even live in the same world that we do.
No. I compare it to rooting for your favorite football team. I'm a huge Steelers fan. The Steelers have won 6 Super Bowls, and I've not once been invited to go to the White House with them. I've not gotten one Super Bowl ring or a replica of the Lombardi Trophy because I know I'm not on that team. It's same thing. Political fans root for their favorite political party, but they actually believe they're on that team. You're not on that team, folks. It's called fan for a reason. It's short for fanatic. And they got us. Got the boot on our neck. It's well played, I'll say that. And because people, telling the truth in times of universal deceit is a revolutionary act. Who's going to have the intestinal fortitude to do it? Because they pretty soon they'll ruin you. They hate the First Amendment. Gannett bought the Jackson Sun. And you remember when the Jackson Sun had 50,000 subscribers. It was a great paper. Then Gannett bought it. They gutted it. Did you know they don't even own that building anymore? The Jackson Sun?
No.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Not you.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, Vaughn, I think they had, no kidding, I think they got 2,000 or so subscribers now. There's, last time I went over there, Brandon Shields was the editor, and he had to, it was a work day, middle of the day, work, like a Tuesday or Wednesday. He had to unlock the door to let me in because he's the only one in that huge building. So is Gannett that stupid, or is that intentional? Well, it's intentional. All over the country. And for some reason, we just, you think about the men, it was 50,000 average age 19 Americans, young men that died in Vietnam to stop the spread of communism. Now they're one of our trading partners and still communist. China, communist China, our biggest trading partner. You look at the men and women that died during World War II. This is spitting in their face. And we're letting it happen. The people that gave their lives so we would enjoy freedom, and we're giving it away. Just handing it off because we're scared. Of what, I don't know. So
that's why we're stuck in our two-party political system, because people are scared. Because one side will say, "Oh, if you vote for a third party, you're just throwing your vote away for this other team," and then the other team says the same exact thing. And I say, don't be afraid to get a little wet. Come out from under the umbrella and vote your conscience. Look at some of these other candidates who aren't being backed by big corporations and big pharmaceutical industries or big law enforcement or the for-profit prison industry. Look at the people. I had people when I was running for governor tell me, "Oh, if you were with just a party, I would vote for you." I'm like, "So vote for me anyway, and let's change this." And people are afraid, and that's the biggest thing. How corporations get you, Pfizer, Moderna. That's how politicians get you. That's how the cannabis movement, the prohibition got people, is fear. We live so much in fear, and the least little thing will make us afraid now. And we should always keep a wary sense with us. But stop being afraid. Don't be afraid to contact your Congress people. Don't be afraid to go march to your courthouse if you want cannabis decriminalization or legalization or medical or whatever. Don't be afraid. Get out. Let your face be seen and let your voice be heard. And that's what it's going to take. All these other organizations, all these other factions, they do it. They do it. But the people who want cannabis are so afraid of being targeted, they won't do it. And I'm telling you, you won't be targeted. Like I said, I sat there for an hour in the chief of police's office, and I wasn't even in handcuffs that time.
How about that? Well, Yvonne, I tell you, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. I hope that we can talk again very soon. And
when I come home, I'll have to go look y'all up. I'm coming home not this weekend, but next week.
Awesome.
I'm doing a presentation at the Star Center there in Jackson.
Well, yeah, please do.
It's not on cannabis.
Well, no, it's. I was just looking. We just got a memo of a board meeting. That's I just checked. It happened this afternoon at 4:30. It's this memo is to notify you of the adult-oriented establishment board meeting that is to be held on Monday. Oh no, it's coming up on Monday, April 24th at 4:30, Madison County Courthouse basement conference room. It's the Adult-Oriented Establishment Board. I didn't know we had one of those.
I didn't either.
I'd have to get on that.
I didn't either.
That's. Let me go down there, Larry. Well, Yvonne, again, it's a pleasure. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening there in East Tennessee. Southside girl, calling from Knoxville and talking about.
Thank you for thinking of me.
Well, sure, Melissa. Do you and Melissa know one another?
Melissa's my former sister-in-law, and still just one of the most beautiful people I know. I love that woman.
Oh, she is something special.
She's everybody's Aunt Lisa.
Yeah, she's a wonderful person, isn't she, Larry?
Yes, she is.
Now but she'll also jerk about a half inch out of Larry's
But
backside.
she's got those arms crossing that foot tapping.
That's right. Then you better put on a helmet. Yvonne, thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And get my cell number through Melissa, and let's stay in contact. And if you find out any news, any movements, we'd like to know. I've been on the air for 23 years, radio and TV. And it's when I started, you wouldn't dare mention marijuana on the air.
You know, I used to talk to Bill Way about it back in the 80s.
You watch. I did the show with Bill for about 10, 15 years. We had a blast together.
I liked Bill.
Oh,
I don't remember if it was him or Steve. Maybe it's Steve interviewed me when I ran for governor. Yes, it was Steve Bowers.
Yeah, Steve's a great friend as well. It's those two guys played a major role in my life. You know, Bill died 4 years ago.
Yeah. Bill was my influence to go into broadcast journalism.
What?
Well, him and Les Nessman from WKRP.
Les? Are you kidding
May the
me?
good news be yours. No, actually, it was WKRP that got me interested in the radio broadcasting side, and then Bill Way actually got me seriously thinking about it. And when I got into journalism, I still do. She's my good friend. Girl, she used to sing backup with Pink Floyd, and me and her were out to eat one night. Yeah, and she said, I told her, and I said, let's play journalism. And she said, okay, you can interview me. And I said, okay, here's my first question. If you were to go back to your high school reunion, what would it be that you would brag about most? And she said, I love the way you ask that. You didn't say, well, what are you most proud of in your life? Or blah, blah, blah. She said, you put me in a situation, you put me back at my high school, and then you brought me to my class reunion to answer that question. She said, I love it. And when she said that, I thought about it. I said, maybe I need to not be in the music business, and maybe I need to think about doing journalism. And after I got arrested and I left Nashville, and then I went to college, and then I became a broadcast journalist. So,
well,
yeah, whole nother story.
I guess it was probably 10 or 15 years I did the show with Bill, and we just had an absolute blast. And Steve brought me over to that station 23 years ago when Steve was program director there. And Steve's doing great. And I'll let him know that
He
you mentioned
interviewed
him.
me last year. I found my biological family. I was abandoned. Me and my sister were abandoned in Jackson in '64. And last 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago, I found our biological family. And Steve did an interview with me on that.
How about that? Let me read you just rapid fire some text before we go. This says 420. This is from the Advanced Rehab and Medical text line. 420 is an inside job. That's all I say with that. This one says the Dominion versus Fox case has been settled for $757.5 million. Yeah, we got that and got it on the air.
And it's not even on the Fox website. That's not their breaking news.
Yeah. Have you looked to see?
Yeah, I did.
What, did it have anything about it?
Nothing, not a word.
Yeah. This one says marijuana reduces. Oh, wait, sir, that's not the one. Hold on. Come on, Danny. You know I've been for ending the war on drugs, not only for marijuana but all drugs. Now, how many people have been saying this? Come on, Danny. Yvonne, you're not advocating for the legalization of all drugs, which Mark Twain.
Yes, I do.
Oh, are you okay?
I think we should treat, instead of treating drugs like a criminal part of us, we need to treat it as a medical part of our society, and people just need to have their own personal responsibility. My nephew died from an overdose because him and his brother went and got a pill off the street and split it and took it, and he died. And okay, you got as much access to the internet as anybody else. You know this crap's out there, but you took your responsibility and you died from it. And we need to bring back and think more on personal responsibility. I'm not responsible for you. You're not responsible for me. I'm responsible. Well, I'm not going to get in a car and drive, but, if you drink too much and you get in a car and drive, you're responsible for your actions and you need to pay your consequences. If you rob somebody to get your fentanyl, you're responsible for that. We need to start looking at more personal responsibility, and we need to treat our drug problem as more a medical than a criminal, so we can start doing something about it. We've got these little 30-day drug treatments that usually don't do anything because we don't have enough facilities and we don't have enough doctors or insurance to cover the real root problems of things. Drug use is a symptom of deeper problems usually.
Yes, I agree with that. And apparently it wasn't a really good idea in the 1980s when the Reagan administration opened up the insane asylum doors and said, hey, guys, you don't have to go home, but you got to get out of here. Good luck. Yep. And here's a pizza box that will make for a great briefcase. Good luck to you all. And so that apparently was not a great idea.
No.
It's this
not a good idea.
Last one, this says from the Advanced Rehab and Medical text line. In the news, a 13-year-old on TikTok took a challenge to take 13 Benadryl tablets, and it killed him. I haven't heard that. Have you? Mm-hmm. You heard it?
It was on Fox. They had that on there.
And on Fox?
Yeah.
We better fact check that, though. Yvonne, thank you again for spending time with us.
Teenagers can be stupid sometimes.
I know. I really don't know how any of us make it out of our teen years, really, if you think back on it. Speaking from experience.
We did it, though.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah, and you know what? We didn't have helicopter parents or bulldozer parents, and somehow we survived. And what I'm reading is...
We sat at the pond, smoked weed, listened to books on tape, and made straight A's in high school.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I was raised in a Pentecostal church, and I remember they took at least two of my record albums. 1980, I was 12, and they took the Eagles' The Long Run, burn it at the church. I was like, what church? I just paid to mow these yards for this. And they said, you don't understand. There are hidden messages on that record album. I was like, well, they hit them so well. I don't know what they are. I just like how the music sounds. They said, if you play
I did my dangest to try and find those hidden messages. I played my records backwards. I played them fast. I played them slow. I got stoned and listened to them. And I could not find those hidden messages to save my life.
Well, and they told me the same thing. If you play that in reverse, it'll basically say, kill your mama, kill you. I said, who would play this stinking thing in reverse? And
I did.
And there was nothing.
I did this experiment.
And it was nothing. Did you go kill your parents?
Well, no, what I did, I think it was Another One Bites the Dust. I did it backwards, and I just made up something that sounded like it might be what they were saying, playing it backwards. And I told everybody, I said, listen for this, and tell me what you hear. And then so everybody listened to it, and we played it backwards. And I'm like, oh, I heard that. I'm like, I'm glad you heard it, because I didn't. I just made that crap up just to see what would happen.
I've done things like that, too. And isn't it amazing the way you can influence others? And group thinking is so dangerous as well. They burned my record album, and I'm still a little bit sore about that. You probably can tell. But Yvonne, again, I'll let you go. We got to get out of here. We'll talk again very soon. Thanks for spending time with us, putting up with some calls, and Big Rick. Hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thanks for having me.
You got it. Well, strong woman right there.
Yes, she was.
CWA Developments. Commercial and residential maintenance, restoration, and renovation. Fire and water damage experts. Plumbing, gutter, roof, window, wood, repairs, fence, decks. Open Monday through Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sundays for emergencies. Here's the phone number for CWA Development with over 80 years of experience when it comes to residential and commercial renovation and restoration. 731-503-9598. But wait, there's more. I've got to tell you about BioT before we get out of here, because my testosterone level is 1,200. No kidding, folks. That's where I was at. That was at 1,200 when I was 23. Now, 30 years later, 1,200. Youth is wasted on the young. You've heard that said, right, Larry?
I've heard that.
I want it wasted on me. So BioT, you can age healthier and live happier. BioT. I have more energy. My thinking is clear and sharp, evidenced by the things that fly out of my face. This is only a show, folks, so don't completely judge me. But as we age, it's proven fact that we lose some hormones, just kind of leave our body and head out to outer space, Larry. Lack of energy and fatigue during the day. How many of you, raise your hand if you experience this. Difficulty sleeping at night. Reduced mental focus and memory. How about being moody, anxious, depressed? How about weight gain? That's belly fats. You know, I've had several friends that work out, do sit-ups, but they say, I can't lose the belly fats. Could be that you're low in testosterone. Inability to lose weight regardless of healthy diet and exercise. Decreased muscle strength, muscle and or joint pain. Reduced sexual desire and performance. Man, that's the makings of not much fun. Because it's all about quality of life. Isn't it? Got to enjoy life, Larry, don't you? It's this is not a dress rehearsal. This is the real deal, Holyfield.
Real deal. And
we want you to enjoy life. And if it can do these things for me, why couldn't it do it for you? And Gina loves it. So it's not just the guys. Ladies, BioT for you as well. Do what I did, call Dr. Shannon Bone, because they take these tiny pellets and place them just under the skin. And It releases testosterone or estrogen into the bloodstream on a steady, as she goes, sort of a way. Because I know a lot of you do those testosterone shots, synthetic. You get a boost. So you'd say you climb and then you crash, climb and crash. Peaks and valleys. But with BioTE, think of it like this. I get those pellets. Takes about 10 minutes. Place this under the skin, right butt cheek. And I climb up to around 40,000 feet, and that's cruising altitude. 6 months later, they last me 6 months. I come in for a nice soft landing and get repelleted and hit right back up to 40,000 feet. So do what I did and call Dr. Shannon Bone at Advanced Rehab and Medical and ask if BioTE is right for you. 731-503-8254. 731-503-8254. And ask if BioTE is right for thee. Did you watch the Grizzlies-Lakers game one, Larry?
I started watching it, and
that'd be a no.
Yeah, I don't watch a whole NBA game. There's
It's
just
the
too
playoffs, man.
Yeah, but it's
but hey, listen,
they don't do anything but walk and
Larry,
flop
we carry the Grizz.
Yeah,
See,
and
I wouldn't just.
I'm just
try to
making an overall opinion of the NBA.
Yeah, but it's a product that we like to support instead of saying it sucks. Why would I watch it? But I thought you were a Grizzlies fan.
No, I'm
Do you
not
like
an
sports at
NBA
all?
fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I watch all kinds of sports.
Like what?
Football, some baseball.
Define all sorts. I counted 2. I'm kidding, but it's. I love the NBA, and the playoffs are something very special. And we've got all the Grizzlies playoff games, and we hope they, not Larry, but the rest of us hope they go on and win the NBA title. And the Grizzlies lost game 1 at home to the Los Angeles Lakers. And let's see, is game 2 tonight, or is it maybe tomorrow night? It's tomorrow night. And they tip off tomorrow night at, I think they tip off at 6:30. We have the pregame at 6 tomorrow. We tip off at 6:30. Game 2, Lakers, Grizzlies. So go Grizz!
Go Grizz!
And that's all for us today, folks. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching. We hope you have a wonderful day. And we hope you join us Friday for our launch party and business after hours, food, drinks, and entertainment in Alabama's 3-time band of the year. Tremaine is the name of that band. And with great food vendors that will be here. So there'll be food, there'll be fun. And we'll all hang out and just... Big Rick's going to be here. Don't let that keep you away. So let's see. The restaurants, where did I put those again? I misplaced them. Because I want to tell you, because it's several big name restaurants, huh? There will be, Smoothie King will be here. Do you ever do Smoothie King?
I have, yes.
I love Smoothie King. Marco's Pizza, The Wall out of Henderson, Besso's out of Henderson, Bourbon and Barley's, Blacksmith Restaurant, Jason's Deli, Rock and Roll Sushi, Chicken Salad Chick, 731 Cookie. They'll all be here. So that's some great food right there. And we'll have some more as well, I'm pretty sure. And thanks to Gene Langley Ford and that new concierge service when it comes to their service department. Within a 50-mile radius, they come and pick your vehicle up, take it to Gene Langley Ford, which is, they have a rating that's as good as it gets when it comes to the service department. Ricky and the folks there, Ricky and Rebecca, they are wonderful people. It's the new pickup and delivery service, complimentary, is offered to every service customer within a 15-mile radius of Gene Langley Ford in Humboldt. Come get it, change the oil, take it back to you at home or at your office. Now, that's nice, isn't it?
Very nice.
And maybe talk Gene into make you some pancakes. Now, our email address for PSAs, for community events, church functions, etc., email us at communityevents@newstalk965.com. But wait, there's more. will be out a week from Thursday. On April the 27th, we'll be at Bourbon and Barley's for the NFL Draft Party. Larry, that should be a lot of fun right there. The watch party from 3 till 7 at Bourbon and Barley's a week from Thursday. That promises to be a good time. Don't you agree?
I agree.
Thank you, Larry. Great to see you. Had a good time today. Yvonne, something special, ain't you?
Yes, she was good.
Have a wonderful Tuesday evening at 78 degrees. Low tonight, 50. For Larry Newman, for Yvonne, for Johnny Chandler, my name's Dan Reeves. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Dan is out.
Do you come from a land down under? Where women go and men wonder. Can't you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover.
This is WBFG 96.5 FM. 96.5 FM. Parker's Crossroads, Jackson.
News this hour from town.